Pizza. 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 Pizza.
All right, welcome back to ZaBillsPodcast, where a couple guys in the neighborhood talk about pizzas and the bills. Sometimes we know what we're talking about, sometimes we don't.
I think we know what we're talking about.
Especially when it comes to pizza.
Oh, especially now that we have the official pizza review logbook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Brendan.
Profesh.
Brendan, do you know, folks, I got a pizza log review book for Christmas, and it's interesting categories here. Brendan, do you know where a tuna pizza is popular?
Is it a different country?
Yes, sir.
I'm guessing somewhere Nordic.
Oh.
Herb, hit him with the facts.
Shit, I lost it.
You said it was...
wait. Oh, yeah.
Or Japanese.
Italy and other countries, including Germany. But Germany's the big one, I guess.
Love the tuna fish there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyways.
Well, I guess is it canned tuna fish, or is it like
Canned.
fresh tuna?
Oh, what do they call fresh tuna?
Canned tuna.
Not...
Poke?
No, what's
That's
the other,
Japanese.
What's the other word for it? Like fresh, raw tuna.
I mean, I got a lot of words for
Fish?
it.
Tuna.
Fish?
No.
Oh.
Tuna fish, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't
whatever.
it,
Like, not... whatever.
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah.
At first, I thought you were telling a joke.
No jokes. All right, folks. Merry Christmas.
All business here.
Yes. Merry Christmas. We are not... We're doing a homemade pizza review tonight. My wife made it, so we'll see where I end up sleeping later.
I think you'd be fine, Kyle.
There's my nephew. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what up? Merry Christmas,
You wanted
buddy.
to see what podcasting looks like.
Yeah.
See how
So,
the sausage is made.
yes. The time to make the donuts. So, the wife made a pizza after she had 3 doughs, had to make all 3 of them. You don't want to let that go to waste. So, did 2 breakfast pizzas, 1 bacon, 1 sausage. They slapped real nice compared to tops. Real nice. Then we had extra toppings left over, bacon, sausage. And I said, hey, let's try a sauce on top pizza. I've seen it. I've heard about it. And we're going to talk about it for a few minutes. Anything? Whatever. Do we have anything to discuss before we get into that? No?
I think we're good.
Okay.
No new business.
No. I thought it was great, other than I may have put too much. The problem was we cooked 3 pounds of bacon at once for all the pizzas. And there was a little bit of bacon grease, so we had to navigate some of the bacon grease. So that could be the only complaint I have. Could have been a little too salty, probably from the bacon grease.
Kyle, I thought it was excellent. I thought it was a rich tasting, flavorful pizza.
You want to be allowed to back
was
over.
a giant surprise because I did not know all those ingredients were underneath. For those of you, I don't know if Kyle did it justice here. It literally looks like a marinara pizza. All you see is the sauce and the cheese. And unbeknownst to the trier, all of the ingredients from the bacon sausage
Pepperoni.
and pepperoni are hidden underneath the sauce and the cheese. So it's a gigantic surprise when you take that first bite. It's fantastic.
Wegmans dough. I don't know if you all have used pizza dough from Wegmans, but it's very good.
It's fine.
Tonight
Good.
the crust was pretty good. But yeah, I mean, maybe a little too much bacon for me, but
It's a very rich pizza.
yeah,
I mean, you're going to get full.
no cup and char though, obviously because it's underneath. But
Right. But it's good.
yeah, I don't know. Anyone else?
I thought it was very good. I'm kind of skipping ahead. Sorry, guys.
You're
Not
good.
used to the seat over here.
Yeah, he's usually getting it first over here. And you
yeah.
skipped right over Herb.
Yeah. I thought it was very good. I thought the crust was good and crunchy. I thought the toppings underneath, I was a little nervous because I'd never had anything like that before. It was great.
Yeah.
It was like a very good surprise, for sure. Like a taste explosion almost, like the pepperoni, the sausage. It was good stuff, you know?
Yeah. We should request when I call in these pizzas from now on. Hey, can you put all the toppings underneath?
Yeah, just
See what they say.
Just say, I'll take the Alicia.
Yeah. Right. All right.
I'll let Herb go.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was coming into this questionable on the pizza. I went too hard eating too much food over Christmas break. So, I mean, it was like the Jordan flu game. I really had to power through it, but I'm glad that you guys got this pizza. This was delicious. Holy shit.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Elite. I'd love to, come in here and shit on you for making us pizza in your basement, just to be different. But like, it's really good.
Oh. Thanks.
Yeah, I concur with these guys. You know what? I've never had the sauce on top, but one thing I hear about is how the flavor of the sauce changes when it's on top because it kind of almost like roasts the sauce, if that makes sense. It kind of cooks the sauce.
Yes.
And the piece I have right now, my second piece, by the way, you can see there's like a little bit of char on the sauce that I have. Really changed the flavor and makes it good. I like salty stuff. My wife will tell you every time she cooks, I'm adding salt to everything.
Oh, okay. So this is...
And she's like, I didn't think it was that bad. I'm like, I'm sure it's fine. Just needs a little more salt, whatever. So the salt didn't bother me at all. I really did like the change to the ingredients underneath and the crispiness of this crust. The bite is amazing.
Yeah.
So I have to say, probably better than 3/4 of the pizzas we've had this season.
Seriously.
From different people who are getting paid to make pizza. So.
All right. Well, sounds like the homemade wife pizza is a 5-0.
It's a winner.
Yeah, winner chicken dinner. Speaking of...
You got to open up your own pizzeria. That's what that's telling me.
Listen, the grand business plan here is buy an old pizzeria. We're going to name it ZaBills. We're going to have a room off to the side where the podcast studio is going to be, and people are going to be making pizzas in there.
There you go.
Hell
Sounds
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Not just like, would it be our ultimate pizza, or you could call in and pick like, oh, I want like a boxy style pizza, or you want like another style, or just, I don't know.
Right. I'm pretty sure the customers would dictate what we would have to do.
Sure, they either like it or don't like it.
This sounds like the type of pizza places that other pizza places would hate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're making our pizza? Oh, you're also making their pizza?
Yeah.
And then the bills come in and they're like, you can't fucking use our name, man.
True.
Might be open a couple weeks.
Yeah. So, Herb, like you said earlier, you had the power through. We had, let's see. We had breakfast pizzas yesterday, and then we got into the prime ribs last night. I mean, and then this morning was round 2 of breakfast pizza because there was some left over. Then we had the Paula's donut holes on the table. And all the desserts. Oh, my God. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law make this pistachio pie. Oh, it's like a pistachio pudding with this, like, shortbread crust on there. Oh, my God, so good. So good. Then I had some peanut butter fudge yesterday, some baklava yesterday. Oh,
Damn.
So good.
I think I ate more
Hell yeah.
for Christmas and Christmas Eve than I did for Thanksgiving, which says something because that's a holiday wrapped around food. I feel like I had more to eat over these last 48 hours than I've had in forever.
I think I would debate somebody that Christmas is a bigger eating holiday than Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it definitely was for me this year, for sure.
Because how many Thanksgiving dinners do you have, right? Like I had a Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve, Christmas, today, have another one tomorrow.
You're having leftovers.
Yeah.
It's not
a grind.
fresh. It's not the same thing. Christmas Eve, a whole different menu than what we had for Christmas Day.
Yep.
Sure.
I mean, just all fresh food.
What did you have?
Roast beef.
Oh.
This is for Christmas Eve. We had roast beef. We had lasagna
Oh.
from La Haciendas.
Oh,
Really?
My goodness. Was
Did
that
that
as bad
pain you?
as the pizza?
Did it pain you?
It did. I had that kind of Ray Romano type thing because I was like, I can go.
Is this your parents or your in-laws?
This is my in-laws. I can go for like lasagna. I'm like, I'm not,
So that you just picked up a tray and throw it in your oven?
That's what it was. We
Oh.
picked up a tray, La Hacienda, and
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? This is not pizza, so I can go for it. And we put it in, burn the hell out of it on the top, but that's okay because you got layers
Yeah,
of.
you just peel that layer off.
It's all right. You just cut that right off.
Or if you love that hard, crunchy noodle layer up there with a little bit of the
You're
sauce
in.
char. Yeah.
Yep.
So I cut in. I'm the first one to get a slice. And I look at her and I go, "There's no meat in this lasagna. It's just pasta." And that whole reason why we burned the shit out of it was to keep it in for an hour because they told us to do that. But there's no meat. All you had to do was warm it up. You could put it in there for 10 minutes. You were good. But that's what we had. We had that. We had roast beef. We had a Mediterranean dish. We had plus desserts. It was crazy. And then for the Christmas dinner that was at my Aunt Sandy's house. That was, again, lasagna with meat. Very tasty. It was ham, turkey, other version of turkey, potatoes, sweet potatoes, you name it.
Whoa. What are the two versions of turkey?
One was dark meat and one was the light meat.
That's two.
That's
Okay.
still
I don't
one
know.
turkey.
One turkey,
know,
different parts of it.
I know, but this was like sauteed and like it was a different version. I'm like, I did something different with it.
Which one did you like better?
I
white
like
or
the white one. Okay, I didn't have a whole lot because I had a lot of ham, but like it was very tasty. But it was not. I mean, you're right. It was all turkey, but it was almost like a separate dish to it.
So they cooked each meat differently.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that was it. And bread pudding,
Okay.
banana cream pudding. I mean, I've been eating that like nonstop.
So are you a cannoli or a gucciardati or
Yep.
what other stuff?
All the above.
Okay. I love a good gucciardati.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
You have to like cannolis. I won't really talk to anyone who doesn't like cannolis.
So this brings up my mystery question from last week, actually.
For folks with a vowel at the end of their name.
Yes.
Okay.
What is the big deal with Italian Christmas cookies? Because to me, I think they're the worst Christmas cookies of all the cookies.
I agree.
They're the driest, worst flavored cookies ever. They're like hunks of dough with
Right.
powdered sugar, and they're
Yeah.
maybe almond or something in them. Dry as hell.
Yeah.
The ones that have like the anise flavor, I don't mind that.
You can say anise.
yeah, whatever.
Anus. Yeah.
Not
Never
good.
enjoyed. Yeah.
Like,
I am not a fan of anise.
give me a sugar cookie with frosting. Give me a peanut butter with the peanut butter cup pushed into it.
Yeah.
Give me
Oh,
the
that's
one
a
with the
good one.
Hershey Kiss on it. Give me an elephant ball with the peanut butter and Rice
Love
Krispies
elephant balls.
covered in the chocolate on the outside. Give me an Oreo ball. Give me a Snickerdoodle. Give me a
Right.
raspberry thumbprint. All 10 times better than
I had
any
a good
Italian
raspberry
cookie I've ever
thumbprint
had.
last night.
Everything that Brendan said that he did not like, we did not have. Everything
Okay.
he said he liked, we had.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The wife spent 9.5 hours breaking my stove, making.
Oh, is your
all
wife
these
a good-
cookies. Yeah,
How is she with the gucciardatis?
really good.
Do you have
which
any
one
left
is that?
over?
Those I don't know.
That is the fig or date that's kind of like wrapped over, like it's
I'm not a huge fan.
wrapped. It's like a fig Newton. It's an Italian fig Newton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love 'em.
Not good. Not good.
Oh, I love those.
The Hershey Kiss peanut butter are fantastic.
Mm.
She did these brownie peanut butter,
Okay.
sort of like
I've seen the one where it's the brownie with the Reese cup
Buckeyes
pushed in.
yes.
Ooh,
These are
Buckeyes.
called Buckeyes though.
Yeah,
I
Ohio
love
State.
the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Buckeye
They're
balls.
called Buckeye bars, Herb.
Mm-hmm.
Buckeye
Oh,
bars.
Buckeye
Herb.
bars.
It's just almost like a peanut butter.
Chocolate covered peanut butter ball.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, addictive.
I mean, that sounds
fantastic.
pretty good. What
Oh,
are they
they're
called
good.
again?
Buckeyes.
Peanut butter Buckeyes is what they're called. And like I said, then we had the normal Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
Sugar cookie, frosted.
Yeah.
Everything
bar,
you
like a
like,
magic
we
bar
had.
with it? Okay.
Everything you didn't like, we don't. I mean, I had that growing up as a kid with my, the North Buffalo Italians.
You talking like the green and red ones for Italian
Kind
cookies?
of, but like those ones that are just like the mounds.
It's like
it's like some
dough
sort of almond
with
is
powdered
in it.
sugar.
There's like
Powdered
sprinkles
sugar
on
in
them
it.
too,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
bite it and it just puffs like in your face
And-
with the powdered sugar.
There'll be like 17 different varieties of the Italian cookies that somebody will bring. And they're talking about how they had their grandkids working in essentially a sweatshop for like 16
Our friends
hours
do that. I've seen it on
making
Facebook.
cookies. And every single one is different, and they all are just different. Ooh,
Right.
look at this one. This has
Hey,
figs in it.
Is,
And
is
like
this the
they
thing
all
you're talking
suck.
about?
Without the frosting.
That's
These
probably
sprinkles.
one of them. Yeah, none of them have enough
You can buy those.
frosting.
You can buy those on Amazon.
Yeah.
They gotta be really fresh and moist.
Yeah, I just, a lot of people embrace their Italian heritage. I'm not Italian, but
Oh, here
I'm
we
a
go.
big Italian
Here
festival
we go.
guy. Yeah, without the sprinkles.
That does not look appealing.
Yeah, they're not good. But
Yeah.
I'm an Italian sausage guy. I'm a huge cannoli guy. But
You're not insulting me here. It's all
And
good.
you can't tell the person that these things sucked. Like,
yeah, because
you
they're a
gotta
lot
be
of
like,
work.
oh,
It's
these
a
are
lot
great.
of work to turn out a
There's
bad
so
cookie.
much work.
Hey, anyone in your family a big pierogi maker?
No,
No.
no,
All right.
not really Italian, dude.
It's
Aren't you
More
Polish?
right?
I am, yeah, but it's only 30%.
I'm a Polish family. We don't make homemade pierogies,
No.
unfortunately.
No?
Yeah.
Damn.
my cousin's wife, her family is right from there, and they go all out Christmas Eve, the biggest Polish fest you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Pierogi making for hours.
Pierogi, well, they make them ahead of time so you can eat them on Christmas Eve, and then tons of other food you can't pronunciate. And then what I learned yesterday when I was talking to them, crab legs galore, I guess.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, so like you kind of like endure all this food, and you're kind of like, okay, you know, some of that was good, some of it was not so good, and then they bring out these crab legs, and they're not like snow crab legs; they get like king crab legs, just tons of them. And
How are the
go to
pierogies?
town. I mean, I've never been a part of it. I've never been invited. I think it's very exclusive.
Oh, I thought you said you were there.
No, I talked to them last night, but their
okay.
Christmas Eve.
Oh.
It's my cousin's
Gotcha.
wife's family,
All right.
so it's kind of
Okay.
another thing.
Okay.
My
gotta get you
Polish
an invite.
family, we got chicken fricassee. That's a soup with dumplings.
Ooh.
It's really good, and galumpkies.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I heard that was a thing.
Yeah,
What's in a glumpki?
it's like cooked. I don't know. Not
Is it a meat?
Food.
yeah. It's like meatballs inside a
It's a Polish dumpling.
yeah. What's that? Cabbage. It's like cooked cabbage and pasta sauce, and there's a meatball inside. It's better than it sounds.
The
though. It's
lumpki
really
is
good.
a stuffed Polish cabbage.
Yeah, it's cabbage stuffed with meat
In like
with
a
meatball.
like a marinara.
marinara sauce.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Our dinners
Like a
are
manicotti.
kind of like our Christmas Eve dinner we do at my aunt's is almost like a Depression era
Mustard
Christmas
sandwiches?
Eve. No, we do. What you want to call it?
Shit on a
What's
shingle.
that pasta?
I had that as a kid.
Goulash.
Goulash. That's our big thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
We do goulash every Christmas Eve. My aunt makes it. My grandma used to make it, and it's just like the only time of year we ever have it. And so, if we don't have it, people are like, "Why are we not having goulash?" But it's like very uneventful. But it is, it's good. Once a year. We have that with cottage cheese, salad, and fruit and bread.
Fruit in the cottage cheese?
No, like on the side, you got
Okay.
a fruit bowl. You got
Because
your
I know
salad,
people that
whatever,
love putting fruit
you know.
in the cottage cheese.
And that's our Christmas Eve. We do have a shrimp platter beforehand or whatever,
Ooh.
and then on Christmas Day, my wife's family, her aunt does it, and she's very Italian. So we have this Italian spread, sans cookies. So we had real sauce, with
Homemade.
ribs and
Oh, yeah.
sausage and.
Did they put a hard-boiled egg in there?
Yes.
Oh, love it.
Yep.
Love it. I don't know why the egg goes in there, but I love how they put one in there.
I don't know either. I don't ask questions. I just eat.
Yeah.
And then ziti. Then for we have some gluten free people, so they did like a chicken cacciatore or whatever, something without noodles. And then they did Italian sausages, dips as far as the eye can see, And then my wife does the apple pie. She's a designated apple pie person since her grandmother passed away, and she's like the only person her grandmother taught to make pie or anything. So she's the one.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Nice.
quite the feast.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dennis.
It was good. It was Christmas Eve was quiet, but we got La Bella. I had chicken parmesan, and that never fails. It's like the safe go to.
Where's that one?
We got pizza
We had
from
the
there.
pizza from there.
It was,
Is that the one on Genesee?
Genesee, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we didn't go there, but we went, picked it up, brought it back. And,
Does everybody order their own thing, or
yeah.
do you get like a platter? You just
yeah, no,
order
everybody ordered their own thing. There was only 5 of us, so it wasn't huge. And then for Christmas, my wife cooked. We hosted, and like my sisters and my sister-in-law chipped in and stuff like that, and everything went pretty well. It was we had some ham, pot roast, potatoes, corn, stuff like that. So a lot of Irishness there. So we don't particularly we boil a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. You ever do the corned beef on Christmas?
Not on Christmas. Corned beef is probably one of my favorites, though.
Yeah, I love
Like
corned
if it's
beef.
done right,
Yeah.
like my mom does it in the crock pot like all day, and she does 2 of them in the same crock pot. But she she puts one on top of the other, but upside down, so the fat like rolls down,
Gotcha.
which isn't the healthiest at all. But it's
cares?
fucking great. I mean, it's definitely pretty good. So.
I love a good bite of corned beef and a little bit of fat and a peppercorn.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
It's kind
And
of like a crime that these things are like just designated for certain holidays. Like
Yeah.
corned beef's only St. Patty's Day. Turkey's only Thanksgiving, pretty much. Like, when else do you make like a turkey or corned beef outside of the
See, in my opinion, corned beef season is like New Year's Day to like St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And then we don't have it ever, occasionally maybe sometime, but
Right.
like
Really
we
summer
try to get it
food.
like 3 or 4 times in the like 3-month period, and it's good shit, And then like sandwiches the next day, that's almost like the best thing. You get some rye bread with the seeds,
Weber's mustard.
yeah, Weber's mustard. You got to have Weber's. I mean, we're Buffalo. Like, get out of here.
Yep.
It's good stuff. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
I know.
Buy 2 pieces of pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, the corned beef, I have to have it with Swiss cheese. I don't want it in a roll. I eat it straight up. That's how it is with Swiss cheese. Then that's it.
Yeah, we usually
Perfect.
do the corned beef, and then the next days we do Reubens.
Yep.
So we do the
Oh,
Swiss
yeah.
cheese, the Thousand Island, the sauerkraut on it.
Yeah.
Weber's, boom.
I'm not a fan of sauerkraut.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't love it either because I love corned beef so much. People are always like, "Oh, you must love Reubens." Blah blah blah. I'm like, without the sauerkraut, I like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it by itself, but on the Reuben, I like it. So
Yeah.
All those, what do they call it? Probiotics in
Yeah.
the sauerkraut.
yeah.
Freedom cabbage, right? Didn't they call sauerkraut freedom cabbage during World War One?
Yes, there was a big move to make sure we got all the German names out of our towns, cities, and foods.
There you go. Our local historians
There
here.
it is.
Yeah.
That's
What
why
else
again,
what would we do without you, Sean?
South Buffalo, Kaisertown. It's no longer called Kaisertown for a long time. They changed street names, the whole thing.
Yep.
They went hard against the Germans in World War One.
Understandable, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, when they bombed Pearl Harbor.
That was World War II.
Too soon, guys. Come on.
Oh, well. All right. Anyone got anything exciting for the rest of the week coming up? I'm supposed to get together with family tomorrow, but
Yeah, more
we'll see.
Christmas. More Christmas.
Kyle, you can't keep pushing it back.
I know.
My thing is that it's all over. Like New Year's, we'll probably do a little something, I guess, next week. But for like at least 4 or 5 days, it's all over. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, I've had enough. Like I'm good for a little while. So
Yeah, ours drags out. We like see family like almost every day for almost like a whole week, but
Yeah.
you just have different family
That's
coming
grueling.
in, and
Yeah.
yeah, you got to have some stamina there.
when you're a kid, it's great because every day you're getting gifts.
Yeah.
But as an adult, you're like, I'm driving here, I'm driving there. Now we got hockey games mixed in, and
Yep. When's your next few games?
we play at Harbor Center tomorrow at 3:30.
That's cool.
Then we play at the New Brighton rink at 3 on Saturday,
Okay.
and then just practice on Sunday.
All right.
No days off.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you get to recover, or do you have hockey on top of family on top of?
There's a JV game tomorrow evening. I don't know if we're going. And then Saturday we've got a travel game and potentially a JV game. But like I said, I haven't heard anything on those. So, but they won that Christmas tournament this past weekend. So
Very impressive.
Good for them. Went 3-1.
It's good.
So yeah, goalie got MVP of the tournament. So that's cool. 2 shutouts in a row.
Deserves it.
Yeah, overtime winner in the final.
Yeah, I saw the video of that. Someone posted. They had a video of it. Pretty cool. The Welnowskis.
Oh yeah. Well, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Nice job.
Oh, that's funny. All right, well, everybody, we're gonna go to the next episode. All right, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Those.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
This is a Kmart production, brought to you by Dudzik Chiropractic and MJB Electric. Welcome to ZaBillsPodcast. If this is your first time, we discuss the Bills games while we review 2 different Buffalo pizzas. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Listener's discretion is advised. ZaBillsPodcast.
Welcome back for part 2 of ZaBillsPodcast, where some guys that think they know shit about pizza and little about the Bills.
Right. Or vice versa.
Or,
a lot about pizza, a little bit of Bills.
Yes.
I haven't met many pizzas I haven't liked. Last week was the exception, I think.
Those are the only 2 you haven't really liked?
Well, no, there's been more, but, I mean, those were the 2 that stand out to me as being probably the worst we've had.
Some were bad. That one up in the Falls was bad. Mr.
Ventry. That New York style?
Yeah. That was a bad one.
Yeah. So the Bills played the New England Patriots.
The Pats.
That's like our offense stuttering a little bit there.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's exactly why I did that. But I was definitely worried watching that game.
Oh, yeah.
Can't get you too excited about what you might see in the playoffs. But I think Josh Allen came out and said, we can't show our entire playbook. I don't know if I buy that, but...
Well, he can show some of it.
I mean, aren't teams watching what they do from week to week? You still got plays you haven't pulled out yet?
I mean, that's good. That's a good sign. But.
I mean, I felt like they kind of put some plays in that they haven't run in a while, for the most part. So at least they were trying different things, different variations of them, I should say. So I don't know. I mean, I think that they tried a lot of things that didn't really work, and they were lucky to come out with a win, I think.
Yeah, I guess you got to kind of hope that that's what kind of was going on, that they're kind of just like, let's try some things and see how it goes, and you kind of squeak past a team that, is not good. But I think that we said, the week before, if they struggle against the New England Patriots defensively, that, we got something to worry about. And they did. Now, granted, they did get the takeaways when they needed them, and actually our kind of crappy defense picked up our crappy offense there, where they got, 3 turnovers?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And a nice...
and a score.
Play on that. Yeah, that play in the end zone was nice. But it was still concerning for sure. We definitely got to get these guys back that are injured.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have a couple of weeks where we need to win against the Jets this week coming up. And then, hopefully the last game of the year is just kind of play whoever's there. But
matter.
I was a bit happy-go-lucky. I mean, this is a typical... if you were to direct a trap game, this was a trap game. Before the holiday season, the Kansas City had already won. So this was against New England. It reminded me of a typical 1 versus 8. New England had nothing to play for. They could play loosey-goosey. The Bills really didn't have a whole lot to play for, and they just were, But I had no doubt they weren't going to pull it out. I was uber confident this team's going to turn it on. They showed up. They did it. They did enough to win, and they defied the odds. This should have been a trap game for them. They should have lost this game. They lost this game last year. Against the Jets. They ended up losing, and they just ho-hummed it, won it comfortably. In no time was it in doubt, and that's what the Buffalo Bills have done all year.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was at with it. We were down 14-0. I'm thinking, whatever, we're still going to win this game. And it's pretty great to have that against New England.
Yeah.
After 20 years where we just never beat them ever.
Right.
To just be like, New England, whatever, they mean nothing. The Bills were just not ready to... They weren't ready to play.
No.
To start. And we sucked. This was one of our worst games, and we just, whatever, we'll still pull out the win. So I don't want to read too much into it. It was pretty ugly. But... same with Sean, I knew we were going to win. So,
speaking of 20 years, this is the 20 or 21st year in a row that either the Bills or the Patriots have won the division.
Except for one. That's what I heard.
I think except for one. I think the Dolphins won it back when Tom Brady got hurt for the year.
Yeah.
02?
I think it was 08-ish.
I thought it was the Jets had a year.
Yeah, the Patriots still went, I think they went 11-5 and missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Even without Brady. Brady got hurt week 1 or 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Was that the year of Mark Sanchez where they went to the... Didn't they make it to the Super Bowl?
Mark Sanchez would have been the Jets.
Yeah.
Jets made it to 2 AFC championships, but
Right.
never the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was a trivia.
So was that a year that the Jets won the division?
I
No.
think the
I have to
Dolphins
look
won
back.
it.
I don't know
I
if
think
they
the
got in
Dolphins
on a
did,
wild card.
Jay
probably.
Fiedler? I don't know. I think it was the Dolphins.
Would have been Chad
Maybe they
Pennington,
were
I
all
think.
11. Yeah, it could have been the Jets.
Well, the
Yeah,
Bills
I don't know.
only
I don't
scored
know.
24 points.
I just heard the same stat, and it was 1 year that it was not them. It was either Jets or Dolphins.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
Well, the Bills didn't score 30 points, so their
Yeah, the streak's over.
streak's over.
Can we
of 8 games, but what?
Can we say that the Kyer Elam experiment is just a utter and total failure? With that
I was
guy?
very optimistic for him and defensive of him, but he is not good.
I was the same exact way. I was like, every now and then he comes up with a play. He was just awful. He was like not a turnover machine, but
Penalty
he was
machine.
getting penalties all the time.
3 plays in a row?
Yeah.
I mean, that series on the goal line where we were just making stop after stop after stop, and he had 2 pass interferences to refresh the downs. What did they have, 9 plays inside the 5-yard line or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
That was obscene.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy, he's supposed to be the man coverage guy, and he can't do it without pass interference.
Yeah.
Oh, he's grabby.
Yeah.
That first touchdown to Booty.
Oh, dude, what a pass.
He was right on him, but he
was.
he did the old who was the guy we had that corner who went to the Panthers, and he's been pretty solid for us the last few years.
Oh, Gilmore.
No, not Gilmore. We
Josh
lost
Norman.
him this off season. I'll think of it, but he was right on the guy, and
Trey
he just
White.
didn't turn his head around.
Was it Sarah Neal?
No,
Not White.
Dane Jackson.
Oh,
Dane
Dane
Jackson
Jackson,
would be covered on these guys like glue, and then he just wouldn't turn his head to look for the ball.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta do that at the last second, which is
Right.
hard to do, but like that's what your job is too. So,
The pros,
and it was a perfect throw. It was a
Oh,
perfect
dude,
throw.
great. Drop
Drake
right in the
May
back.
looks quite good.
He does.
Yeah, and he can move a little too. I don't think they were ready for that because they were
Yeah.
saying throughout the whole broadcast that like there's been like no designed runs for him like all season or something like that, and then there was like a couple, and they're like, oh, look how mobile he is, and he's not like Josh Allen, but he can move.
Yeah, big,
Dennis,
he can move.
Ed Oliver disappeared.
Yep.
He sure did. He played his one game. He got his game checks and, off to the bank.
Does that concern anyone going forward that these defensive linemen are so hit and miss?
Yeah, for me it does, definitely, for sure. Like, the defense as a whole. I mean, I know that we're missing a few people, but...
Because you're only going to play better quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that kind of worries you. Like, you hope that, like, I think you said it earlier, that we need to get some people back, which we do.
Oh, sure.
But I think at the same time, even when those people were there, our defensive line wasn't very good.
Yeah, the
minus
D-line's
a few
not
times.
missing guys.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
This is who we came to play with.
Yeah.
Right.
And, like Von Miller, in my opinion, looked slow. So, like, some people said that he really came on that game. I was not one of those people. I thought that he looked slow. He almost got there. Like, I know he had a real bad injury, but that was a long time ago now. And so, like, put up or shut up in a way, kind of, right?
Yeah, I mean, the cornerbacks and the safety have a direct relation with your defensive line. They're going to give you that extra second and a half, maybe 2 seconds to get to that quarterback because of their coverage. Having our secondary banged up as bad as it was directly affects your defensive line because they're not giving you that extra second and a half, maybe 2 seconds to make, right? We saw Von Miller. Almost. Well, you know what? You're throwing against backups in your secondary. So he's not getting the extra second and a half he needs to get there.
Yeah.
You have a good secondary that can buy you some time. We have the defensive line that can do some damage. But if it's out 3 seconds, if the ball's out 3.5 seconds, it doesn't matter how fast you are. You're not getting the quarterback.
Sean, I gave you more credit. That was very in-depth analysis here.
Wikipedia.
I didn't get...
Wikipedia. No, I just made that.
I was going to say,
Well,
I don't
I played on the defensive line all throughout Tim Murray's illustrious, glorious years. I mean, it's a big, big, big difference. If you have a good, strong secondary,
Yeah.
it will show in your defensive line.
Wait, like
Missing,
coverage sacks and all that, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Missing both safeties, missing Rasul Douglas, missing Milano. We had Balin Spector playing a lot of snaps.
Also,
that was ugly. He just couldn't
very
cover
bad.
anybody.
Not good.
And I'm hoping that they took our ZaBill advice and just rested these guys. Like, I was
Yeah.
under the impression that they're like, better to be safe than sorry. We're not even going to address these guys.
Yeah.
And
I
we'll
think-
take our chances with this 3 and whatever team.
That's why I'm not real worried about this. Like, I think the whole team was not down for this game. Like we're resting a lot of guys. Guys were not amped up for this game. It's like, well, we'll just beat the Patriots by showing up, which is what we did. Mm-hmm. We didn't play well, but guys are resting. We're doing a vanilla game plan. The mentality out there is like, just don't get hurt. Let's get through this one without important guys getting hurt.
Think there was one tush push at all. Like there was a lot of.
Did you even have a situation for
the
one?
End of the game, I think there was. The very last play where
I think you're right. There was one,
third and 1 or something.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was choreographed. The game looked very much choreographed as we wanted to go this way. There's not a lot on the line for us. I mean,
it's hard to like I was trying to tell somebody about this the other day, and it's hard to play a game like that where I think somebody said it was you, Sean, maybe 1-8. Like that's kind of what it reminds me of. Like that, like the Bills are so much better, and the Patriots just aren't really all that good this year. So it's hard to get up for a game like that when you got the playoffs coming up. Like as much as you want to say in the media and all that, like we're not thinking about it.
Yeah,
you're thinking about it.
Well, and the Patriots going for it on that fake punt, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah,
I mean, out of their own 25, 30-yard line and getting it, which I'm like, that's great.
Yeah,
good for them. Only to see them punted away 20 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this team's not ready. The coaching staff's not ready. I'm like, if you're going to go for it on 4th and 3 with a fake punt, and you're not willing to go for it, the 4th and 1, 4th and 2, you're not a playoff caliber team.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that we saw a lot, like last year I felt like we saw a lot of going on 4th down, and this year we saw a lot less. I thought we were kind of turning a corner. Like overall NFL,
right.
But we do it a lot less. I feel like though.
Yeah, and to kind of go back to the defense a little bit, do you think you have any concern about the way that Sean McDermott has this defense set up to be more of like a zone defense, and when you don't have your top guys in there, it's just we're just getting picked apart by any quarterback that's playing at all. These guys are wide open. Nobody's there, like even in the vicinity. Like, that concerns me and why I think you need to have your top guys. Like, the way that he has this set up, they're not a man defense. They rarely play it. Yep. And we've always said they're the bend but don't break kind of defense. You're kind of hoping that you just do enough to eventually stop them once they cross the 50, hold them to maybe a field goal, and then when you lose guys, you just have guys wide open. I mean, how many times in the flat are these guys wide open? It's concerning because you're giving up a first down.
Is it very concerning because they can't stop the run right now? If they could stop the run and they were still having this coverage, it wouldn't be as discerning?
I don't know because...
Or concerning?
I'm concerned. Like, I think you laid it out pretty well there. Like, I think that you have to be able to play man sometimes. Like, if you're a zone defense, you have to adjust a little bit. And especially like throwing blitzes in there sometimes when our great defensive line can't get any pressure. So you had to play man a little bit more, and they really don't ever. And, like we were talking about Elam, the one man guy that we have can't really do it that well. Right. So it's definitely a little worrisome. And like the running thing, we're always bend but don't break, but we've been breaking a lot more than we've been bending.
Yeah.
So.
And I think you even saw it in that game where they had initially the Patriots had a good mix of the run game and the pass game, but I think when they figured out that they were passing all over the place, you didn't see what's his name, Stevenson, who's actually a good running back and did some pretty good damage against us. You didn't see him for a while because they were just dinking and donking all over the field.
Yep. So. Yeah. The one play that stood out to me too was I thought about you, Kyle, right away about missed tackles. Cam Lewis on Ramondre Stevenson's touchdown. I don't know how long it was. It was like there's a second touchdown in the game, and he just ran over him. He didn't wrap him up at all, or
I think it was too cold for them to really want to get down low and take him out.
Could be
by the legs.
That was another big factor. You're playing a game where nobody wants to get hurt, and it's freaking 8 degrees out.
They said it was the fifth coldest game ever.
Yeah. I think that did play a big factor. I mean, we all remember that game against the Patriots in the playoffs, the perfect game where it was 0 degrees or whatever at kickoff, and the Bills were perfect. So that's kind of different though. Like a big game, a playoff game than
Right.
what this was. I will say, like, last year it killed us against the Chiefs with a lack of depth and just guys getting in that playoff game. Just they just controlled the game, and they were just able to convert third downs, and we had guys that you could take advantage of in coverage. So, I mean, it would be nice if we could have a healthy defense against them.
Sure.
And the man coverage in the 13-second game killed us. The lack of a man coverage guy. We had Tyreek and Kelsey just killing us the entire game. Or I think it was more Tyreek in that game, but yeah, we don't have guys that can stick with these stud fast receivers all game. You just need them to make enough stops that, and our team is built with Josh. Josh has to carry us in the playoffs. Josh has to beat these teams on his own, and you got to hope the defense makes a few stops and our offense is perfect. That's how we're going to win.
Yeah, in years past, getting back to what Brendan was bringing up, McDermott's defense has been interchangeable. That was one of his strengths. I agree. I haven't seen as much of that roll over this season, but in years past, it was interchangeable. He could bring guys we had never heard of before onto the field to fill roles for guys that were injured.
It's like a plug and play.
They didn't seem to lose as much. Again, I don't know again if this is a game. I think Hurt brings up a good point. Nobody wants to get hurt. You're playing the bottom of the league. There's not really a whole lot on the line. It's not. You're already in the playoff spots. It's really tough to get a read on this game. And it's good. I think it's going to be tough to get a read for the rest of the season, just because of who they play and where they're positioned already. I don't see them bringing out, and I think there is something to be said about not showing your playbook.
Yeah.
You don't win a Vince Lombardi Trophy in the regular season.
Yeah.
You're saving the good stuff for. And I just think the Bills played a handcuff game, and they still won. You know, I mean,
Is that why Curtis Samuel's been a ghost? They're saving the
They're
good
saving it
stuff.
for the
Did he even play on Sunday?
I mean, I didn't.
No,
see
I
it.
think he was out.
See, I don't think so
I
either.
think he's hurt.
You just never know. Like these
What a
guys.
bust that guy's been this year.
Just be careful though. You never know. These guys are wired. Like they're thinking. These coaches, and I'm not just talking about Sean McDermott. I'm talking about all coaches are wired. They know what their plays in the first game of the playoffs are going to be in August. Like if they're lucky enough to make it. Like they're dialed in. Don't shut the door on him quite yet. I think he's going to make an appearance in the playoffs, and
Maybe
he'll
there's
surprise
like
us.
maybe we'll all see Curtis Samuel's package in the playoffs.
Super Bowl.
And it could be a
Quote
big
that bad
package.
boy.
You're looking for that, huh?
Super Bowl winning catch, and he goes on the Buffalo Bills Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
big speech.
yeah.
Wow.
You know, with the game this week, maybe it was the red jerseys that you know.
I'm not a big fan.
I thought they
I
looked like
mean-
the Patriots.
No,
The
no,
Patriots wear those red.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I also think every time they wear those red jerseys, they don't play well.
Yeah.
I think the whole we can't read much into it goes through the wild card round up until the division round, because we're going to play the Broncos or some team that has no business
weird
at playing against us in a playoff game
I'm
that
gonna
we should just win by showing up.
Yeah.
We're going to beat that team by doing what we have to, and it might be by scraping by with kind of a weaker than you want effort, but the real playoffs start in the divisional round.
Totally disagree
probably
with
with
you.
the Ravens.
Yep.
I totally disagree. Once the playoffs start, I don't care if you're playing the junior Giants. I don't care who you're playing. It's a whole different season. You are a 0-0 franchise going up against a 0-0 franchise. If they show up like this game doesn't matter against the Chargers, Denver, whoever they play, the Bengals, I will smash my TV. Like I will be that.
I do agree with you. I feel like Pittsburgh we had a little trouble with last year at the beginning of the game.
Right.
Pittsburgh-
We adjusted.
Is Pittsburgh Are they posers?
I don't know.
Pittsburgh's
Last 2
posers.
weeks, man,
Yeah.
they've shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
They have shit. I've seen it.
What?
They stink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't,
None
know,
of
where-
these
I didn't know
teams-
where you were going with this.
None of these teams are going to beat us. It's
I
as
know
simple
what
as that.
Herb-
Like
Herb
the-
means.
whether you get the Broncos or the Colts, the
Texans.
Bengals scare me. The Bengals
Really?
scare me. I don't want to see the Bengals, but I don't think they're going to get in. The Dolphins, like these teams aren't beating us in Buffalo in a playoff game. You got to show up. You got to like play the game.
Dolphins
You
are
gotta
sitting at
beat
number
'em.
9 right now, and the Bengals are number
The
10.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think those two are getting in?
I think what Herb's saying is that these guys get hyped up for playoff games no matter what, and even if they don't play to their top ability, they're gonna just be hyped up, and our talent is good enough to get past any one of those wild card round teams that we might see.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason we see Baltimore in the wild card round, which would suck ass.
I don't think it's possible.
I don't
I
think
don't
so
think
either.
that's at least possible.
They're sitting
but-
in number 3 right now.
They're
I mean,
gonna win their division.
we're guaranteed to see them in the divisional round, as far as I'm concerned. They're not losing to the Chargers or the
Do Ravens play Steelers at all?
Steelers.
They just-
They could play the Steelers, but the Steelers aren't beating them. The Steelers
No.
suck.
Yeah, they finished with the Browns.
Yeah.
Baltimore
I
does,
think
so they're
we
gonna
could
win their
still
division.
play the Steelers.
Steelers play
in the wild
Bengals. Ravens play Browns. Houston plays Titans. Chargers play Patriots and Raiders.
Yeah, because I think last week
God,
we were
that's
talking
two
about
gimmies.
if Baltimore lost a few more games, they might be lower on and get stuck playing Kansas City.
Right.
In the,
That was
in
our
the
hope a
divisional
couple
round,
weeks
yeah.
ago. Was that that's how it would shake out?
Other than the Bengals, who I absolutely don't want to face, the one team that would mildly scare me a little bit is the Chargers, since they have a really good quarterback, they have a good defense. But other than that, like
Chiefs
these
are playing
teams,
good right now, too.
glorified bye week. Well, yeah, no, I'm
They're
not saying
playing bad teams
yeah.
good.
Chiefs
didn't
and
do that.
Ravens are scary. Chiefs
We didn't
and
play a
Ravens
bad
are
team
the
good.
teams.
But they play good teams bad.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
What would you prefer? Playing good teams bad or playing bad teams good?
If you play a good team bad, do you still win or you lose?
It's a good question.
If you play a good team bad,
Yeah.
if you
play a
play
good
bad
team-
against
when
In
you're-
the
when
Chiefs' case, they're playing good teams badly but winning.
Okay.
By one
Well, I
score
guess
game.
as Sean would say, you take a W however you can get it.
Yeah, I for the first time in a long time, this was the
No pushback on that?
No pushback. The Chiefs deserve to win that game. It was not in doubt.
Who they just play?
Well, not
Pittsburgh.
not this game.
Right,
They
right.
won by multiple
That-
scores.
I mean,
for
yeah,
the
oh my
second
God.
time this season.
Right. Prior to that, they are just like kind of barely hanging on. They look
It's
like
been a lot of luck.
They look like a team that has gotten lucky and then.
But they're still 15-1. I mean,
I know, but I mean,
15-1.
There's at least probably 4 or 5 losses in there that could have, should have been, at least 3. At least, I mean, for sure, they should be a 3-loss team with Buffalo, and Buffalo has the tiebreaker, and they cruise in. But they've caught the breaks. But against Pittsburgh on Christmas Day, they look like by far the better team.
yeah.
I hate that they look like they're rounding into form right in time and getting healthy. The Chiefs,
Chase?
like that, and they stunk a lot of the year in a lot of these games.
Right.
A lot of
But-
these teams they should have lost to, but they didn't. They pulled it out when they needed to, kind of, sort of. They got lucky on
Block a field goal.
freaking 35-yard
Penalty.
missed field goal that gets
Right.
like, come on, like
That
so many
Raiders game
stupid,
where they
just
fumbled
like
the snap.
yeah, like
game-winning
the
drive.
Raiders game, the Bucks game, the Ravens
they doink it
game,
in off the
Falcons
post
game.
and they
Like,
win.
give me a break that they went 15-1. They're not a 15-1 team throughout their
But-
season.
They are good enough to find ways to win in all these games.
Well, that was a cool play. So we got in the background, we got this Rutgers game on. The Rutgers guys, they line up for a tush push on the 1-yard line. The quarterback dives in for a tush push, but hands the ball to the running back behind his back at the last second.
That's what Josh needs to
That's
pull
where you're
off.
saying last
exactly
week.
what-
They
yeah.
need to have some
Yeah.
fake tush push.
The running
plays.
back walked into the end zone.
Wow.
Maybe the Bills will pull that one out in the playoffs.
That's in the playbook that they're hiding.
I'm serious. Playoff football is a whole different.
It is, but you got to think like if a number 1 seat, well, like you said, maybe they didn't want to play for it.
Did you notice this week they kind of tried the deep ball and it did not work any time
Terrible.
at all?
Nothing, yeah.
That's a little
Terrible.
concerning because you kind of were hoping. I don't know who our deep ball guy is. I mean, they tried Shakir, it didn't work. They tried
Cooper?
Coleman, it didn't work. Cooper, it didn't work.
They had nobody else.
It's not Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins can't catch a deep ball.
Right, but here's the thing: it's not necessarily about having it work or not. It's putting other teams on notice that we might try it.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and try it if it doesn't
I
fucking
get it.
work.
I get it. But there is kind of like a body language type thing where it's like, okay, yeah, we didn't connect on it, but you know what? We might against you in the playoffs. So you got to be prepared.
I
for
got
it.
an idea for that.
Others
My
push back.
thought with that with trying to throw the deep ball all game long was I think they were trying to catch up, get ahead, build a nice lead to get Josh off the field faster. I think they were trying to hit a lot of deep, big money balls to get good points on the board, get him off the field, and hopefully build it up where then he could sit sooner in the game. Which never happened. So
makes sense.
that's what I was thinking, was maybe they're trying to score quick, fast.
I mean, that's fine. I'm cool with going for it, but they couldn't complete a single one.
When's the last year they were good at throwing the deep ball? When they had John Brown on the team?
I mean,
and
last
Josh?
year when Diggs could catch him, Gabe Davis would catch him.
Remember one year he was super accurate throwing him down the field? Wasn't that the year that John Brown on there?
I think
2 seasons ago.
Year 3, I think.
I think they had Emmanuel Sanders for a year.
Yeah.
They were pretty good then too.
Yeah.
That was Josh's third year. The second year, he was like really good on the intermediate passes, and then underthrowing all the deep balls. But then year 3, he solved that, and ever since then, he hasn't been great on the deep ball.
Well,
he
they
did
don't
have
have
the
the wide
one to
receiver for
Shakir.
it.
Shakir should have had the one. It was right through his hands.
By the sidelines.
Yeah. And actually, Shakir should have had one against Detroit. I think on our first drive, it was in double coverage, though.
Shakira?
Yeah.
He just might not be that kind of guy, though. He's your third down guy.
He's a shorter guy.
He's going to get you...
Unless he's wide
Your
open.
Cole Beasley, he's going to get you the first down when you need it and put in some good yards after the catch. And I just don't know if we have a deep threat.
Yeah, it seems like the only time we do it is on those broken plays where Josh just ends up, he's a foot from the sideline and throws it deep to like...
Everyone thinks the play is over.
Like he had the one to not Gabe,
Coleman.
He had the one to Coleman against Detroit. He had the one versus the Colts to Mac.
Wasn't it? Shakir had one that was like
Shakir had one against the Ravens. Like those are our big deep ball throws this year. Like there's probably a few more, but like we have. It's very rare that it seems like we have a play where he just drops back,
stays
5-step drop, throws it deep, and it's right to somebody.
I don't think the offense is built for that.
No.
Nor does it need to be. I think there's a lot of more analytical in there in a really serious focus in the last 5 to 7 years. Going back to the Patriots to controlling the game. You throw a deep ball, your offense is out there for 4 plays, and you're giving the ball right back. So I think there's a big mindset in the league of the deep ball is great, getting a quick score if you desperately need it because you're behind. But they rather field marshal the actual game themselves. They rather control the pace, control the time. I think that's played a substantial role in the way the league has been sculpted over the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, and I actually totally agree with Sean. Write that down. That
clock it. 52 minutes in.
That's what made me notice it so much in this game, because all season they've been great, just working their way down the field, short, intermediate throws. And then all of a sudden we're throwing the deep balls. So.
And that's the way the NFL is these days. Like you rarely see the Chiefs actually hit on those. They hit on 1 or 2 last.
Yeah, but why did they try it so often?
Yeah, they miss a lot of them too. Mahomes has missed a ton of.
I'm talking about this particular game.
Worthy, like
a lot of.
I don't think they don't do it. They don't do it. So that's what made me think. Like, why are we just trying things out to say like, hey, if we catch one of these, it's going to make people think about it.
Yeah,
man,
I could see what Kyle's saying. Maybe they just wanted to get Josh off the field quick.
I
Maybe
agree with
hit
that
on
too.
one of those. Like,
but if you don't hit it,
I would love for them to do that this week if they can. Get him off the field. Score a bunch of points, just get him off, and
it's also a very cold game.
Yeah,
that thing's a rock.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
no,
catching
I know,
a rock.
but then why try it?
I know, I agree.
And
but
one of them turned into an interception, which turned into a punt down at the 1.
Yeah,
so.
that was amazing.
That was a terrible. I couldn't believe that guy ran out.
It was amazing. I'm like, wow, Josh is getting against the safety right here. Watch this.
And then we fucked it up because the defense sucked.
Yep.
But we stopped him. I believe that was the interception. They went for it on the fake punt. I could be wrong. And then they got to the 50-yard line. They got out of the end zone.
It's been so long. Thanks for bringing that fake punt up.
Yeah.
Should that guy be fired this year?
Who?
Oh, the
Their
special teams guy?
what's his name?
No.
I don't
Smiley?
think he should have a job.
right?
I mean,
Is that
there's-
his name?
I don't remember his name, but there's been too many throughout the year.
Yeah.
There's been too many times where he shouldn't be
A
the.
fake punt right up the middle.
Yeah, but it was either the 25 or 30-yard line.
I don't care where it
Block
is.
punts that we had.
Aren't
in the
you?
last
That's
couple
your
of years.
focus is
Yeah.
to make sure they don't fake punt it. They direct
With-
snapped it to the up back, and he just took it right up the middle.
And if you think
Especially
about it,
with
that's
yeah.
who's gonna like the Broncos, the first
Yeah,
game of the playoffs.
exactly.
That's who's gonna try that shit.
Yeah.
and that's how we're gonna lose that game.
Yeah.
And,
Ooh,
you
Dennis
know.
is already calling a first round limb.
No, I'm really not. I'm just saying. I'm just trying
That's
to prove
the
a point.
team.
That's
Yeah,
all.
that's the team, the underdog that's like got nothing to lose, and they'll be doing some weird shit. Like, just make sure they punt it. When they're punting it, make sure you get the
Right.
ball back.
Yes, Sean, you
Yeah.
know that from high school.
I
And-
like, yeah, but I
yeah.
liked it was a direct snap right to the guy who was at the 3-yard line. They had to get 1 yard. He got it. I mean, it was a gut. It was to me, it was more insulting that they actually went for it on their 25, but then felt the need to punt it on like 4th and 2.
I mean,
Like
I
that-
feel like it was
if-
very well done.
If I was a Patriots fan, I would have
Yeah,
been.
for sure.
It was
It was well
fantastic. It was
executed.
really well done. I
Yeah.
mean, they had it. You just, I think if you were to look at the odds of them actually fake punting it on their own 30-yard line. At this time of the season in Buffalo, I thought would have been.
That's
a
when you
99.9.
least expect
I
it.
get it, but it's.
Like you were saying, Kyle. To me, like at the end of the season, whatever happens, whether we win the Super Bowl or not, I think you have to look at everything, and you look at the special teams, and you go, "Well, these 7 things happened. They shouldn't have ever happened." You know, so like the fake punt. Okay, we'll give them. They did it. They did it very well, and like the players did well with it. But what happened the other 6 times? You know, that kind of
Our
thing.
special teams has not been good, and
Yeah.
McDermott in the post game kind of called out the guy Smiley, I think his name is.
I believe so.
Guy Smiley.
Yeah, freaking frowny after
might-
another shitty performance,
Yeah,
or if he
he's not
gets
gonna be
fired.
smiling
Like,
after this year.
yeah, like he's gone after this year. The special teams,
He gone.
he gone. There's usually like some sort of special teams ranking. I'm sure we're in the lowest.
Yes,
Like,
we
we're,
are.
We're like 25 or lower in special teams. I would almost guarantee it. Like
Yep.
we've sucked on special teams this year.
But they won you the game.
Yeah.
Your boy Bass got the field goal.
Hey, nailed a 50-yarder.
I mean,
Perfect
so
on
we
Bass.
can shit on him
One
all we
field
want,
goal.
but we won the game off of Bass's foot, who's on the
Tell
special teams.
Bass
Perfect
that
on extra
every
points.
kick
I
is
know.
55 yards.
Well,
Tell him to just kick it as if it's a 55-yard field
right
goal.
down the
Put a
middle.
blindfold on him.
When it's 55 yards or 50-plus yards, he drills it directly down the middle. When it's 24 yards, who knows?
Yeah.
I probably said the same thing last week, but, like, tell him it's 55
No,
yards.
it's okay.
Did you see the guy from Philadelphia was 1 for 7 on kicks over 50?
Yeah.
was
and
unbelievable.
And that
Dude.
freaking guy hit a 60-yarder again. I was there. Hit a 60-yarder against us last
last
year to
year,
go to
yeah.
overtime.
In the rain, right?
Yeah.
Which is amazing because they're saying that there's been more kicks of 50-plus yards this year than ever before. Like, these kickers
Yeah.
are really good from long distance, but
Yeah.
there's also been more missed field goals than you know. I don't know the stats, but there's been a ton of misses.
Well, like I remember, like the first Super Bowl that the Bills lost. You know, that was a 47-yard kick on grass, and people are thinking like, "Well, he should definitely make it." And I'm like, "That's a tough kick at that time."
Yeah.
Helicopter.
But now you think, yeah, exactly. Thanks, George Bush. But now you think, like, now you look at it and you're like, well, that's 47. That's nothing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's different.
Back then, a 47-yarder, that's like a legitimately tough
Yeah.
kick. Like,
Yeah.
now it's just like, oh, yeah,
That's an extra point.
That's a
Expected,
chip shot.
yeah.
You should make that kick.
But the game as a whole is a different game. I mean, you watch some of those highlights even from the early 90s where they're playing on baseball fields.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
yeah.
there's dirt there at the
Yeah.
LA Coliseum. It's like, why is there dirt? Oh, it's because they're sharing a stadium
Yeah.
with a baseball team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of different elements to it from what it was. Certainly don't want to rehash the wide right call. I don't know. The Bills have shown me. I mean, realistically, going back to the Texans and the Baltimore Ravens, they have been the team to beat every time. They have been the favorite, and more often or not. I mean, that LA game, the Rams game, really, but still, that was an inspiring defeat.
I still can't get over that loss. They don't show up for the Niner game, and then they barely showed up to beat the Jets.
I know, but the eye test.
Pakua, whatever his name, wasn't even a factor.
I know. But the eye test
Oh
did
my
not
God.
fail you. If you watch that game from start to end, all 60
Yeah.
all 60 minutes, the Rams played the game of their lives. I mean,
Oh, God,
what
yeah.
do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I agree. The Rams were just locked in offensively in that game. I don't think it. I mean, we weren't good. We certainly were bad defensively, but it's not like the Rams left us a lot of outs to fuck their offense up.
Right.
Like they just played really, really well, and that's what scares you is teams with. There's not many teams with two great receivers. The Eagles have it. I'll gladly sign up for a matchup with the Eagles because that'll mean we're in the Super Bowl.
Right.
The Ravens have good receivers. The Chiefs seem like they're rounding into form with good receivers. So, like, that could, the Chiefs game, we're going to have to score a lot of points. The Ravens, we're going to have to score a lot of points. Like, we have to
score 35 to 50 points with our defense.
Yeah, those games are going to be in the 30s.
I'm telling you, the way that we are going to have to start to play, which we haven't yet, is keep Josh on the field as long as possible.
Right.
Yes, that's our best defense.
Our offense is going to have to be our best defense, exactly. And so that's the only way to do it, and they haven't done that at all this year for the most part.
Yep, no deep balls and quick turnovers and downs.
Help me. How long has Douglas been out for, though?
I think 2 weeks.
Is it 2 or 3?
Maybe it might be
No,
two. I think it's 2.
I mean,
I think he played the Rams game. He missed the Lions
That's
game.
when he got hurt.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Because it was that nice touchdown to Cooper Kupp where he caught it like on his thigh pad.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, so I think you got what? You've got really 3-4, almost a month off if you go back 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Where you can get these guys hopefully healthy.
Yeah.
You get your inside linebackers ready to go. You bring back your corners. You get your safeties. You work on healing that depth. And then that's why I push back a little bit about if we play Denver. Because I think it's all man. Everyone's on deck. Everyone's on board. We're not holding anybody back. Even if we don't play great, everyone's playing that game. So
that's definitely it's not a bye week. I think we show up and we win. But yeah, I mean, we saw it last year with the Steelers. We lost probably 3 starters in that game after losing 2 or 3 starters in the Dolphins game.
Yep.
And that lost us the Chiefs game.
But
So that's
we
what
needed
sucks.
that Dolphins game. That's the difference between last year and this year.
Yeah.
We needed like our 6 wins, I think, 5 wins, whatever it was, last year.
Yeah.
Whereas this year it's a completely different thing.
Right.
So you were talking about the linebackers. That brought up a good point that Spector was garbage and Dorian Williams was everything, I felt like.
So
Yeah.
I was on the IR, Spectre. I don't know if he's actually hurt or they just.
No, they said his calf. I know he's had a calf problem a few other times, so that's believable. But I mean, maybe they just said you're garbage. And
It's weird because like Dorian, I think, is a much better player than Spector, and the last 2 games, Lions and Patriots, like he's played very limited snaps. Like it seems like Spector's out there for majority of snaps, so he must. I think he's battling some sort of injury, and like
we had the bionic arm thing, the Gronk arm thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is.
So they need him or Milano. I mean,
If all
ideally
3 of them
Milano's healthy and playing well, like that's the big thing. That's a huge difference. If Milano comes back and is healthy, like that's what they need.
See, the
kinda looked
Milano
that
thing
good,
is
though.
that's a big
No,
question.
he
to me,
has not
Milano.
looked good yet.
Yeah, because he hasn't looked good, but yet he's hurt again with something else completely different.
Yeah.
So like if he's healthy that last game of the year, do you put him in there just for a few plays to like loosen him up?
Not at
I
all.
mean, yeah, I agree. I don't either. But I'm just saying, like, it's kind of makes you nervous that
I don't even want to fly these guys out to Boston. I want them staying home in Buffalo.
Yeah,
I don't
you
even
gotta
want
put them
anyone
on
to
ice,
think
and
that they're gonna because I think they'll handle the Jets well. I don't want Josh Allen even suiting up. I want him watching from a bar in South Buffalo. That's where I want him.
Me
to
too.
Be,
I want to be
right?
standing next to him.
Which they got a lot to play for in this Jets game. That's a bye week on the line.
Yeah.
As far for all intents and purposes, you're playing to rest.
Right.
Thanks for saying that the right way. It really bothers me when people say that. Saying
Intensive purposes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awful.
Oh, people say that all the time.
Yeah, it's awful.
Right.
You know that, Kyle? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kyle's an intensive purposes guy, I think.
Yeah, he kind of looks like an
Judging
intensive
by his
purpose
reaction,
guy.
he didn't even know that was a thing.
I think he's got the meat sweats right now.
No meat
He's
sweats.
He's in
No
a
meat
zone.
sweats. No, I was just trying to think, like, if you had all 3 linebackers healthy and you're playing a run-heavy team,
Yeah.
you probably should play a 4-3 or 5-3.
Definitely should, yeah. Looking against Derrick Henry, definitely.
Oh, dude. Derrick Henry is good for one big touchdown every time he plays.
Yeah, but I'm thinking your 5-3 sounds better than maybe your 4-3 if you're really focusing on the run. But I don't know.
But if you play a 5-3, you probably have to take Taron Johnson off the field.
Right.
And that's the thing, I think, yeah.
Well,
But
you can't really
is
play
he-
a 5-3. You got to be. What we do is like a 3-3-5, which is
Okay.
We got the 3D linemen.
You're screwed on the D-line because they're not that good.
Or no. We do a 4-2-5.
I was going to say we do
the 4D
for
linemen,
sure.
the 2 linebackers.
And cover 5.
And
Nickels.
yeah. So, I mean, yeah. Against the Ravens, yeah, I would say you play 3 linebackers more in the early downs at least.
Or
I don't know if they'll do that, but they should.
you either have to bring in another linebacker to stop Henry, or you have to bring in another linebacker to spy Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson's going to be probably faster than your 3 linebackers.
Right. I'm bringing 5.
Who do you spy?
Yeah,
Who's
that's
spying him on defense?
Dorian
Russo?
Williams.
All right.
I want my corners and safeties 100%.
You'd rather put Dorian Williams on him instead of Bernard? Is he a better athlete, Dorian Williams?
I don't know.
I think
He's-
Sideline to
little
sideline?
He's
faster.
definitely made the case. I mean, he's
Sideline
he's
to
a pretty
sideline
good
guy?
player.
I think he's a little faster.
Yeah.
Other question. If Milano is still hurt and he's hurt for several weeks and misses the playoffs and the rest of the season, does he come back a Buffalo Bill? I'm going to say no.
I don't think so either.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his contract situation is, but I doubt it. I mean, he's missed a lot of time. So, I mean, if he's...
And when he come back, he didn't look that good. He was
Yeah.
having a hard time making tackles
Yeah.
and moving, and
Yeah, I'm not sure what
With
his
the
dead
money-
cap situation is, but
Right.
depends who you
I
bring
could
in.
see,
too, you know?
yeah, he's probably gone if he doesn't
He gone.
show anything in the playoffs. Yeah,
You go.
Yeah.
What about a Myles Garrett coming here in the offseason?
That'd be fucking
All-
yes,
sick.
please.
All
That'd be
these monies that getting freed up and bye-bye Von Miller, right? There's no chance he comes back, correct?
No,
I
No,
would not think so.
Has he
I-
had
I don't
any
think they want him
sacks
back
since his return? Just one, right?
since we started counting sacks? I don't think so.
You don't think he's had any since he's been back?
He might have run somebody out of bounds.
I think he had a half.
Maybe
of
that was it.
I think him and Russo had one together.
He's
I
had
think.
like one play here or there where he kind of pushes a guy back, maybe makes a move, but
Speaking of Gregory Rousseau, I am waiting for his big moment to show up in a big game.
I have for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet, but
I think it's coming.
you do.
I do. Yeah, I think he took a step this year already. I think again, it's going to be so hard over these last couple of because outside
Yeah,
of
but
Detroit,
the really good players are the guys that step up in the big moments.
Yeah, but
Ed Alvarez shows up for one game and then disappears.
This might have been off the podcast. I think we were talking about it before. We were talking about it before. About adding an 18th game. I think there's 2, and they're clearly defined seasons. I think these guys are smart enough to realize you cannot go 100% for the first 17 weeks, but you're going to see all 52 go 100% for that first playoff game. You're going to see a different Buffalo Bills team. You're not going to recognize it. You're going to see a whole, and the same thing goes for whoever they play. Like I think they're so good at staggering themselves, pulling guys out to a man you're not seeing their best until the playoffs because they know how valuable that is. It's a short window,
100%.
four games, and I mean, what's the value in playing 17?
Hey, let me ask you this. If we were building a dome stadium, would that alter how your guys play?
Yes.
Right. Like he's talking about how guys are getting injured
Yeah.
last year in Pittsburgh, right? If you had a nice climate-controlled arena,
I've thought Josh Allen can determine this over the last couple of weeks with Detroit and obviously New England.
Tale of two teams.
I would wonder if they would, with this guy, I wonder if they would seriously consider altering. It would probably cost $500 million, but I wonder if they would consider that. Now, that being said, this is going to be...
it was like $200 million more to put a dome on the stadium.
Right.
Like that. Like,
I don't...
I thought this was fucking Terry Pagula who was like, I'll just fucking drill another well.
Yeah.
And now we're cheaping
well,
out
now
on
that
the
he's
stadium.
got the Toronto Raptor
yeah.
connection, maybe he can
Yeah,
force the
Vince
bill.
Carter's got to put up some money.
I think the stadium's going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
in terms
Is it
of
going to
weather.
be warmer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to be not
be grass,
It's
too.
not going to be windy inside the stadium. That's
it not
pretty
grass
much what
now?
they're building it
Isn't it
for.
grass?
Like,
It's turf now.
yeah.
it might snow on the
Have
field,
grass
like,
if it wasn't open.
but it's going to be a lot different than
Yeah,
what Orchard
because now you
Park
have those
is.
like swirling winds like by
I mean,
the
it's
tunnel.
still Orchard Park, but
And so, like,
yeah.
now that it's going to be enclosed, like 65% of the
Right.
seating is going to be covered. So you'll get some snow and stuff, but it won't be as bad, and the wind won't be as bad.
No.
And I think from what I heard that the way that they built the walls, it's supposed to like make the wind go up and out instead of like into the stadium.
Right.
Like it is
Yeah.
I'm
now.
very interested to see how this pans out.
I mean, I am too. I thought all along they should have done a dome. I mean, who doesn't love to watch like the San Francisco game with all the snow? I mean, that's great to watch.
Until it comes to
But-
playoff time and you don't want your guys getting hurt in
Exactly.
7-degree
I
weather.
would, I
'cause-
would much rather have
Well,
a
you
dome.
don't want a game determined by the weather either. Like I know
No.
that it's
Yeah.
that time of year and it's football, but you know,
And they take care of their guys. Like
Yeah.
it's not like these guys are coming off the bench cold. They've got the hoodies.
yeah,
they've got
but
the jackets,
still,
they've
when
got
you're
the
out
heated
there and it's
seats.
7 degrees,
I know.
it's
I know.
terrible.
also
You
is the
see
game.
people
like you got to do
blowing-
the running game more, or you know,
blowing
you can't pass
tackles.
the ball,
I
or
know.
Yeah.
But I
you can't
played,
get your footing.
I played the high school, not professional, but I played high school in the snow. And when you're playing consistently, you don't feel the weather. I remember that entire game against Nichols.
I mean,
in
to a
their
degree.
stadium. The ground was harder, but I remember just looking around and just being totally comfortable in the environment.
you played Nichols.
Yeah, we played.
They don't have a team anymore.
That's right. We took.
You guys
care
beat
of
them out?
We beat after that.
The last game they
After
played,
that,
was
they're
the
like,
game
we're
after
done.
that game.
Forget it. They shut down their whole program. They're like, we're done with this.
See, the other thing about the dome was I'd rather have my fat ass in 70-degree weather instead
Right.
of,
Yeah, true
4
that.
or
Right.
something, you know?
Well, speaking of those guys that were in the stadium, I thought I'd see you on the TV.
no,
Those
yeah.
4 or 5 guys without shirts on and
saw
out there,
her
they're
on
I'm resting
nuts.
up. I'm
Yeah.
resting up for the playoffs.
Some of them weren't
Nuts.
even big guys.
No.
You're not going this week?
No, I took this week off.
Wait a minute, so you skipped 2 home games
Yeah,
You got to save yourself, right?
yeah.
for the first round?
I'm saving myself for marriage, which is the playoffs.
Yeah, she's a special lady.
My son
Let's
went this
hope you
week.
don't get divorced early.
yeah?
His first regular season game.
You took him?
No, fuck no. No, my brother-in-law took him.
Oh, very nice
I don't
guy.
want to go.
Yeah, I hear you.
It was,
People constantly, because they think you live in Buffalo, they all think you love going to Bills games.
No.
And I'm like, for me personally, it's an all-day event. I can't observe the game as well as I can on TV. Having your bathroom right there, being warm,
Free
whatever
food, free drink.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right here.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
No traffic.
It's amazing being there.
It's
like,
an atmosphere for
the
sure.
tailgate, like just fucking rounded the tailgate.
I think
like,
if you love the party, that's where you go. But if you're not a giant party
See,
animal,
That, I don't mind not going to the tailgate. Like when I go to a game, sometimes like I'll go with my brother and we'll go see our cousin and whoever else. But like I try to like not spend too much time out there because like it just isn't as important to me. Like I'd rather get into the game and not miss the kickoff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all that stuff where everybody else just wants to drink and stuff. And
Well, and also if you like care about the game too,
Yeah.
it's a little tough to go hard at the tailgate. Like I'm not built like Herb probably. Like I've gone to at least 2 Bills games that I don't really remember most of the
Yeah.
game because of the tailgate.
that does hurt. Yeah, that's a tough.
in
aspect.
free,
well, that's
drought
why he
era.
falls asleep for the first quarter.
You were fine with that because
saving myself for the fourth quarter. Yeah,
Like I
Well,
remember I was at the game where Brett Favre was on the Jets and it was his last game ever and we took him out. And I was in the end zone and I saw that play and that's literally all I remember about the game is when Brett Favre went down. And I don't remember anything else about the game. I couldn't tell you if we won or lost.
time stopped.
I remember getting beers and they were so expensive at the concession stands, and I was bumping into people, and I remember watching the beer spill out of the glass and just yelling at people that they owed me like a quarter every time they bumped into me, and that's all I remember about the game. Brett Favre
it's like
went
$1
down.
a spill.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Yeah. Well, see, so we sold our tickets. It was like a Christmas gift because it's like once
Gift
the
that keeps on giving.
yeah, it's like we put our tickets on sale, and once the Chiefs clinched the 1 seed, it's like I don't need to be at that game. So we sold our tickets, and it was a Christmas gift. Christmas morning, somebody bought them. So I made like $100.
Black
on my
market
ticket.
kind of stuff.
Except for this game
on
coming
Ticketmaster or whatever. We put it on secondary market. We got $100 per ticket, which is a good
Did they sell
I'd say
quickly?
$20 profit. No, took like a while. It took like a week.
Okay.
And
I know.
but
people
then
still wanna
but
know
then
that stuff.
But then I hear Terrence McGee is the legend of the game,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's like,
I
fuck,
saw that.
I wish I was there. I love Terrence McGee.
Number 24.
It's fun to be there.
Did
It's fun to
Terrence
be in the
McGee
stadium.
only do kickoffs, or was he both?
He's a cornerback too.
He was
Right.
a stud. He was a great corner. Like he's one of my. I was talking to my buddies. That brought up the conversation of like our favorite drought era Bills, and he's on my Mount Rushmore. He's my top 5 at least.
Wow.
Like he's a great drought era Bill. Like I love that guy.
Yeah.
Him and Fred Jackson. Maybe Stevie Johnson. I don't know. Aaron Schobel, Kyle Williams.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's mine, Kyle Williams.
Yeah, Kyle Williams.
Not only because I look semi like him, but just because I felt like he kind of personified winning, and he was on a shitty team for so long that finally, I think his last year was when we made the playoffs. But I mean, it just he deserved better. I felt like
Yeah.
It was short term, but I like Takeo Spikes.
Yep.
I loved Keo Spikes.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
London
when we signed-
Fletcher,
London Fletcher was a great one.
Yeah. Yeah.
No quarterbacks.
We had that's the thing is we had so
Ryan
many good
Fitzpatrick.
players.
Yeah, if Fitzpatrick, you could
No,
rally
Fitzpatrick,
around
you can say
Fitzpatrick.
that.
Like the
Flutie.
Amish-
Tyrod Taylor still in the league.
Hey, speaking
Yeah.
of
That guy
Tyrod,
has. I'd love to know
speaking of Tyrod, we
the
might play him
longevity of the
Sunday.
average quarterback because that
Yeah,
guy
we
has
might.
exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
And how much money has he made just being a backup to every team in the league?
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Good on the Bills for drafting him when they did, because there is something to say about longevity. Like the guy actually had a pretty decent career.
Yeah.
Didn't help us at all. Well, he got us in the playoffs, but I mean,
Yeah.
hey, you look back at some of these, whether it's football, baseball, hockey, whatever, and you're like, oh, that guy played 800 games.
Yeah.
That wasn't a bust of it. Maybe not been on our team. That wasn't a bust of a draft pick.
Right.
Well, I think back to like the drought era. We had some rosters. If you just eliminate quarterback from the equation, we had rosters that were in like the top 5 of the NFL. Like we had some really great defenses.
Oh, yeah.
I think to that one year where we won a bunch of games in a row and then we lost against the backups on the Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
04.
Yeah.
I think it was 04.
Yeah, like we had a great defense. And like this year, we have if you eliminate quarterback from the equation, we have the 15th best roster or so. Like we don't have that good of a roster other than we have Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the quarterback is more important than every other position
Right.
combined. Like it's like
That's
That's
like
how
when
important
they have the
QB
MVP
is.
conversation.
Does the-
Saquon's got no chance.
oh no chance.
So, but does this present you in a situation where you spent way too much money on your Hall of Famer franchise quarterback, and now the money to put great supporting pieces around him aren't going to be as good because you spent so much on Josh Allen?
You couldn't spend enough money. Like I don't care if he was 95% of your cap and you could
then you're not
only
gonna have
pick
these high-ranked
undrafted
rosters.
rookies.
Yeah,
He's
but if
worth
you-
every penny.
If you win the Super Bowl this year,
Yeah,
then that just proves the point.
sure.
Look who he's doing it with.
Yeah, how
right.
much dead cap do we have?
Right.
We'll
We
do
have
it.
more
At least
dead
35
cap. Yeah, like
with one player.
yeah, Diggs is 32 million dead cap or whatever. Like we're not even spending half. Like not half,
Speaking
but
of
like
dead
a
cap-
lot of our money. Yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a weird situation there.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Here you go.
he go,
He go. Yeah.
he go.
That's
Kirk
like
Cousins,
another
Deshaun
Russell Wilson
Watson.
situation where they just got to eat, $50 million in dead cap at least, and just be like, yeah, take them from us.
Well, the whole thing was a bonehead thing with the draft and everything. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
drafted the guy Penix, 8 I think it was.
Yeah.
If you get him like the first half of the second round, that's a great pick. But like to pick him eight overall, and then you sign Kirk Cousins like a few weeks before that to like $100 million deal, something like that, right?
There was nobody that was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
It's kind of like when the Raiders drafted Janikowski first overall.
That guy was a beast, though.
He was, but
he
come
was.
on.
It's an unusual
How
kicker.
dumb! That's
know.
probably still haunting your franchise.
Did you see there was a Gruden thing where making the rounds this week?
Well,
like,
he's on Barstool.
Oh,
so.
I saw something. He was
he was
drunk for a
talking
game.
about Janikowski.
Yeah.
Because he was like a drunk asshole, just like the kicker from the
Have you ever
Replacements
seen
movie or
yes,
something.
thank you. I was
Like,
just going to bring that up. Yeah.
Smoking a cigar.
That Welsh.
That's
the
yeah,
Welsh
the first
That's a good
round.
movie. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, how do you take a kicker in the first round? I don't understand.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. Okay, so let's get into picks. Let's talk about what we could see happening going forward here. Like, obviously the Bills have to win this game.
Yeah.
Have to. So you can take, like you said, then they can take the next one off.
So the number 2 is still in jeopardy if they
Yes.
don't win this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Baltimore has the tiebreaker over us, so we got to
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, but they've got to win one of two. If they win one of the next two,
Baltimore only has one game
Well,
left.
they only have one
But
left
that's what I'm
now,
saying.
yeah.
If the Bills, they have to win one
yeah.
of two.
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
two
Yeah,
more
and you'd
games.
rather rest
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, ideally, but it's not like number 2 is.
Yeah.
This is a do or die game. It's not.
Yeah.
You know.
I
Which team
think
is
it's a big
worse?
one though. Like
I
it's-
agree. I
yeah.
want them to rest. I want them to be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm not at all concerned about the number 2.
Brandon, continue with your question.
Who do you think is worse right now, the Patriots or the Jets?
Jets.
I mean, I would say the Jets.
Right.
But,
Yes.
I mean, because the Patriots, I feel like, are more, which is weird to say about the Patriots, but they're more up and coming.
Right.
Right.
You know, like the next 3 years or something, you know, that kind
The
of
Jets
thing.
are like trying to
Whereas
keep
the
their head
Jets are
above
just
water.
like
Yeah.
just garbage. All
Yeah.
garbage.
Or
on top of
Sean would
garbage.
say
They
they're
still have a good defense, the Jets, but they just have nothing to play for.
Yeah, well, they have talent.
draft picks.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
yeah, they don't have anything to play for. You're right.
Draft pick.
Right. I mean, they've set themselves probably back at least 5 to 6 years because now they're looking for another quarterback. I like the fact that they took was it Devontae Adams
Yeah.
from Kansas City?
Yep.
You know, because they were
Raiders.
targeting him.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I mean they were targeting
Oh.
him
Oh,
to
yeah.
get him, and he ended up with the Jets, who was going to be a non-factor for the playoffs.
Patriots right now have a better draft pick than the Jets do.
Correct, because they got the
4-11
Jets have
and
one
3-12.
more win.
Yeah, I
So-
think the Patriots are 2, right?
No, Patriots are. What do you mean 2?
Like
Second
in the
pick.
draft order, yeah.
I don't know.
Ra-
They're 3-12.
yeah, the
They're
Raiders, Raiders
Carolina,
and Jaguars.
Cleveland
Atlanta.
also is 3-12. Tennessee and Jacksonville also 3-12. Las Vegas 3-12.
Jacksonville, man.
Giants
They gotta be
right now are the
kinda
worst.
Questioning what's
Yeah,
going
the
on there.
draft over.
2-13.
Yes.
Yeah, the draft order after last week, so not including yesterday's games, it's the Giants, Patriots, Jaguars, Titans, and Browns. Top 5.
God damn, those are some shitty teams.
Yeah.
So I like to see probably a little bit better Buffalo showing than what we saw against the
Weather
Patriots.
will be more mild. It will
Yeah.
be in the
Is it
high
50s?
40s, low 50s.
Yeah.
And rain, though, too. I think
Okay.
a lot of rain.
Lots of rain?
Rain.
I heard rain, yeah.
Like inches?
I mean, I think it's supposed to rain like all day.
As long as,
I don't know.
as long as it's a light rain, not a tsunami.
I swear the only reason Rodgers is still trotting himself out there is to pad him and Devontae's stats. You see, anytime they get close to the goal line, and I'll predict this now during the game, Devontae Adams will get like every target when they're inside the 10.
Makes
He
sense,
throws
though,
it
right?
to
You should tell
him
the Bills' defensive
every
coordinator about that.
time
Call
he's
Babbage.
looking at Devontae. And maybe if he looks at Devontae for 4 seconds and he's not open, then he'll look at somebody else. He just wants to feed Devontae touchdowns and himself touchdowns.
Yeah,
What's
right
the-
now this says 56 degrees and half an inch of rain in Orchard Park.
No, we're gonna whoop him.
Winds 10 to 20.
I think Garrett Wilson is a problem, too, a little bit, because he's a really good player, and they're not using him until like later in the game.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to
Well, he's
probably
getting
have a fit
pissed
at some
'cause
point.
It's just our offense is feed Devontae Adams, get him some more.
How many of those
stats.
Jets guys
Legacy.
are leaving after the season when the fire finally settles?
Oh, I mean,
Probably quite a few.
Devontae Adams sticking around? Or is he leaving?
I can't
Well,
imagine.
it probably depends on if Rodgers stays or not.
Oh God.
I hope nobody leaves. I hope they're like, let's run this back, guys. This is working.
That'd be great.
It would be neglect if they were to bring Aaron Rodgers back again. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. He's sunk in that franchise.
It's a lot of money, though.
he
I
a
think
contract,
the
though?
dead cap. I don't know what it is.
I
But
think
it's
it's
a
like
lot.
a $40 million dead cap
Yeah, it's a lot.
if they get rid of him.
I would
so.
love for them to bring him.
Hey, it's
back
cheaper
out.
than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
but
true.
still. I don't know. They want to.
Who could maybe then end up in
Deshaun
in the-
Watson?
for the Jets?
Yeah,
maybe
he
they
could.
maybe they get rid of Rodgers. They bring back Kirk Cousins just as like a placeholder,
Yeah.
and they draft some kid somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
They're going to have to.
Jeez. Mike is right about how Kirk Cousins is a brilliant guy.
oh, absolutely. He's a genius.
Get a bunch of money, you suck, they cut you, you go to another team, you get a bunch of money.
Yep.
Oh, he's made so many millions. The only team with any sort of future in our division, other than us, of course, because we have Josh forever, is the Patriots.
Yep.
The Patriots actually
Is
have
forever,
something that they
forever,
can
though,
hope
Herb?
for. Oh, Josh will be with us his entire career.
Forever.
Yeah, exactly. We got another 10, 12 years of Josh.
Wow, okay. I like it. All right, Sean.
I've got the Bills winning 32. We'll go with the 17 spot for the Jets. I think. The Bills
wait a minute. Wait.
Oh,
Wait,
my God.
Hold
okay.
on.
Cut that.
So last week, we were talking about the over-under was 46.5. They almost fucking hit it. How the fuck do they know? How are they that good?
Within
within 1
Fixed.
point.
Games are fixed.
45 points, 46.5. Like, how? I couldn't believe they were that close.
These dorks in Vegas are just crunching.
Okay, so did you know there's NFL football on right now?
Yep. Seattle and the Bears.
Okay, so Bills 9.5. They're calling 46.5 points again. No way.
Did they get it?
Why not?
No, they were under by a point and a half.
I got him getting
Sean
it.
almost just said.
I got him
Sean
getting
just
it.
said 48 or 50.
What'd you say? 32 what?
32-17.
17.
I got him
49.
going.
49. Okay.
It's going to happen.
Herbs.
I
And
think
spices.
I think the Bills are going to be a little pissed off. Like the kind of the national narrative is kind of shitting on the Bills, and it's like, oh, we're not as tough anymore, and look at the Bills just kind of crumbling at the end, which I don't think any of that is true. But I think the Bills are gonna they see that stuff. They're gonna take it to heart. They want to lock up MVP for Josh. I don't think it's a huge deal to Josh. I don't know if it's a huge deal to the team. I think it is a big deal to them. I'll say Bills put up 38. Jets put up 21.
You didn't want to take Sean's score?
I had 32-17.
Oh, my apologies.
32-17. Yeah, no. Yeah, I think the Bills kind of roll. I think it's important to the team a lot that Josh puts up some stats, solidifies that MVP thing, and we kind of roll, and we need to get that bye week. I think this game means a lot to the team.
Did you guys see that his lineman got him some Kirk Cousins bling?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You didn't see what they got him?
No.
This diamond encrusted Bills Allen jersey.
Oh, really?
Necklace thing.
Actually, I don't think it was the line. I think it was just Deion Dawkins. I think Deion Dawkins splurged for that.
Oh, okay.
Crusted, already dubbing him MVP.
Yeah.
Piece of jewelry.
Was he wearing the ski goggles when he gave it to him?
No, I
No.
didn't show him. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
All right, Dennis.
I'm going to say 35-16 Bills.
Wow, 30 guys in a row, 30-plus points.
Yeah, well, so the Bills need 34, I believe it is, to, I think it's become the highest scoring Bills team. Did I read that correctly?
Really?
I thought I saw something about that earlier. I could be wrong. Didn't fact check
How
it.
are they ranking amongst the highest scoring teams ever? Because if they almost had the record of 9 straight 30-plus games,
Yeah.
30-plus points games, I mean, how close are they? I wonder.
I'd imagine fairly close.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything on that. Like, I don't think they're threatening for it.
Gotcha. All right, Brendan.
Just looking up the current injury report today.
Yep.
Taylor Rapp, Hamlin, Cam Lewis, Milano, Samuel, limited participants.
Good boy.
I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, at least they're participants. They did not participate.
If I were the Bills, I would say if you got those guys that are just limited participants, you sit them all out this week, and you beat the Jets without them.
Yeah, I think the Jets are going to score some points, similar to last week. The defense is just, unless they get those guys back and the line shows up, we're giving up points, unfortunately. So it's just going to be if the offense can actually score points. But I feel like we're going to win this game. The Bills are going to score 18, Jets 28. I like it.
All right. I'm going to take the Bills. Probably, I like 27-20. 27-20, Sean. That's 47 points. I'm going with an over.
That is good. And the
The
overall
over hits.
the overall record for points in a season is by Denver in 2013 at 606. The Bills are currently sit at 445 points.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they
What
ripped
do you mean,
off.
Bills though? Bills record?
Yeah,
though?
Bills record. Yeah.
No,
We
no,
can
I know. I'm
break
just
that.
curious.
We just need like 70 points a week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the record.
606 points?
2013 Broncos, was it?
Yeah, and it's not even close. I think the next one, I forgot what the next one was, but they're not even in the sixes. It's like 5.
Wow.
Are these stats like adjusted though for number of games in the season? Like they keep talking about Saquon Barkley breaking like single season
Probably
records.
not.
Like how messed up is that? Like, well, he's going to get an extra game to go after this record.
Several
like,
over
well,
O.J.
he should
Simpson's
break
record.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
OJ did it 14, right?
14 games.
But he doesn't get a vote on if the league's going to extend it. I mean,
Yeah,
that's, you got.
but there should be
should.
records for record in 14 games, record in 15 games, record in 16 games.
Nah,
If they keep going,
What do you mean, nah?
nah.
They're going to have 20 games and they're going to get
you can't have
2,000.
an
That's
extra
how it
2
goes.
games and
Hey,
then beat a
man.
record.
Yeah.
Listen, just show up and score your touchdowns, run the ball, and don't worry about
you're
it.
I
drunk.
can't disagree with that more.
You're drunk.
Couldn't.
Drunk.
Might be the baseball fan in me, but that's just not right.
Oh, yeah. That's an extra.
What are you researching,
Even
Sean?
if it's a one extra 17th of the season, like that
Right.
means a lot.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
If you score 120 yards in a game and it pushes you over,
Yeah.
you didn't have that in the same amount of
Yeah,
time
but
as the other
you're
guy.
also under the impression that these guys are as healthy. I mean, you're still playing that extra game. You're probably still banged up, if not more. No, I was just, like,
These guys are in the best shape of their lives of any players that ever lived.
I know.
Those guys that were doing records back then, they're drinking on and smoking on the sidelines
Yeah.
and having these records.
And working a job.
Yeah,
Talk-
like the whole thing with
eating
Len
hot
Dawson.
dogs.
I know, but talk about that receiver from the Texans who had that awful injury.
Tank Dell.
Oh, yeah.
It just
that
happens.
sucks.
Godspeed,
that
buddy.
sucks for him.
It
Yeah.
happens. And
Friendly
you just never
fire,
know.
too.
I know. It
Yeah.
was remarkable. He hung on the ball.
I couldn't
What
believe he
happened.
caught that
It
with
was
his
amazing.
leg snapping in half.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Broncos, Patriots, Chiefs, 606, 589, and 565. 1307 in 2018 Chiefs. Those are your total points.
Those 3-4 games of only 20-some or less points really hurt us.
We're not even right now. We're not even in the top 25.
Oh, God.
So
Did we say the Bills record? Did I just totally miss that?
445 as it stands right now.
No, I mean the record, though.
Oh, that I
The
don't-
Bills' single-season record.
Can anyone tell me how much they care about the MVP conversation?
I would love to see him get it. I don't think he's going to get it.
I think he's going to get it, and I would love to see him get it. Like I think it's. We were talking about this pre-podcast. It's a good old boys club. I think there's a rotation. I don't think one person owns it. I think it's a combination of personal stats, but also team stats. And I think if
Down goes Snoop.
Lamar Jackson got it
Trying
last
to
year,
keep him
I
alive.
think it's past the marijuana, past the Dutchie, as they would say. I think it's I think it's Josh Allen's year, and I think he's
I
going to
think
win
it's
it.
pronounced Ducci
Pass the
song.
Ducci.
Right.
from the left-hand side.
Pass the
To
Ducci
me,
from the left.
the MVP is a consolation prize if we don't win the Super Bowl. If we don't win the Super Bowl, at least Josh got the MVP. If we win the Super Bowl, who gives a fuck if he gets it or not?
Yeah, right.
Right.
I think it's all political, no matter what. So
Sure.
I think he deserves it this year, but I thought he deserved it last year too. I think that Lamar Jackson this year has more stats.
That's what they say.
So
That's
if
almost
people
like a
look at the
flip-flop of
stats
last year.
more, yeah, I think if people look at the stats more, then they're going to go for that. So it depends on all the different people that vote for this, how they look at it. Is it more important for the team or more important for the stats, or how does that work?
I think Josh Allen still would have been the front runner if he would have threw at least 2 passes and ran in 1 or 2 last week. I think he would have been number 1 still.
The thing that Josh has going for him is he just has more electrifying plays. He's got more sports center plays.
Except for that Lamar Jackson burst yesterday.
Yeah, that's fine. But how many have you seen of how many Lamar Jackson plays that can you remember? Not that we're Baltimore Ravens fans, but
Yeah.
I mean, week to week,
Didn't he set some...
the national media is talking about the latest Josh Allen play.
Yeah, but didn't Lamar Jackson just set the frickin' NFL rushing
He
record
beat
for...
Michael Vick by a yard, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I look at it like, so I don't know about the counting stats. I mean, I know the counting stats. Like Lamar has like 5 more touchdowns, right, going into our game. I think Josh has been better overall, like completely carrying our team on his back.
Yeah.
Right, look at what he's doing it with.
I don't think it matters that much, but I think people will say like that'll be a thing that these stupid, which no one should ever care about, but like the talking head people is what most people listen to, and they'll if he doesn't win it this year, they'll still have, well, Josh Allen's never won any MVPs, and he's never done this and that does still annoy me.
Question for you. I don't know.
He should win an MVP.
Don't know if you were here for it or not. Who needs to win a Super Bowl more, McDermott or Josh Allen?
I mean, Josh has one of the greatest, like if you look at his playoff history, he's one of the best playoff quarterbacks in NFL history, and it's not even, like, he's amazing. Yeah. Like, I don't even worry about it with him. Like, it's just he'll be locked in for the playoffs.
Answer the question, sir.
I think McDermott's not locked in for the playoffs always, and he doesn't play up to his competition always, so probably McDermott. But I think Josh will be there, and I trust him, and he'll be amazing in the playoffs.
If you're talking job security, it's obviously McDermott.
Yeah.
McDermott. If you're talking legacy, it's Josh Allen. I mean, no one's going to remember, that McDermott, but they'll remember for generations.
I think McDermott will be forgotten. I think Josh Allen will always be remembered, regardless if he wins a Super Bowl.
He's no
or
Mark
not.
Levy.
And I think that's kind of why when you ask who's really relying on this more, I think it has to be McDermott.
Yeah.
Right. And Josh Allen could probably go anywhere and win a Super Bowl.
Oh, sure.
Are you going to be the coach that gets him there?
Right.
When you look at like someone's legacy and just looking back at guys' stats, like I've been watching that series Winning Time about the Lakers and Celtics and all that.
Good.
Do they ever say
Incredible series.
30 for 30.
No, it's on HBO.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With I forgot his name. Is it John C. Reilly? No.
John C. Reilly plays the owner. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And you look back at these stats, and it's like, oh, well, did he win MVP? Did he win championships? You look at their stats.
Is he like fucking around, John C. Reilly, or is he like playing a serious role?
No,
I haven't seen it.
He plays the owner really well. Like, I
Okay.
wish Jerry Buss was the Bills owner.
Because I've seen him on like those. What's the one where they like redo the history, drunk history?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's funny as hell.
Oh, yeah.
John
when
C.
he's on
Reilly
that, it's
is
so good.
So good.
He's good.
Speaking of history, Sabres ended their losing streak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In big fashion, 7-1.
Thank
Yeah.
God it wasn't against Boston.
We're so bad.
oh, that's sweat.
They are
The
bad.
entire time.
be
I'm like,
more bad,
please
I'd
don't
say.
lose to the Sabres. I'll never hear it.
And tomorrow they play the Blackhawks, which also have like a similar record as them,
Right.
so they could go 2 in a row.
No.
I think we're winning the cup this year.
And in the words of Major League, if you win another game, that's called a winning streak.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Good job. Lou Brown, right?
Yeah,
Lou Brown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lou Brown.
Scathing. That was my Christmas Eve reading. Scathing article from The Athletic, just dissecting the Buffalo Sabres over the last month, really.
I think he's a closet Sabres fan.
I mean, you kind of follow it. No, who else read this article from The Athletic?
No one.
But
The Bruins guy.
It was one of those things where it was like, everyone's got to turn, God forbid, and look at the car crash. It was one of those things where, well, okay, how did this go so off the rails so badly? And it was just this reporter just ripped, and it went back at their legacy.
Well deserved.
It was well deserved.
What do they say the main problem is? Is it they don't have any tough players?
No, they went
Or is
right
there
up there.
multiple problems?
They went right up there to ownership, and they're like, this franchise cut its. They came in, they cut their scouting, they gutted their scouting department. That the players that they were able to select because of how high they drafted, they couldn't maintain. They fucked up the Jack Eichel thing brutally. Now he wins a cup, and they look like fools because they wouldn't let him go see his own doctor.
Yep.
They're a clown posse. I mean, that's what they've turned to be.
Do you think
An insane count posse.
Oh, I wouldn't
There
give
was
that
a,
much
there was
credit.
and there was a whole write up. There was a whole scathing write up in the Boston Globe after the Bruins beat them about how bad the Buffalo Sabres have been over the last 14 years.
Do you
Thank
think-
God. Hold on, thank God for the New York Jets. Because the New York Jets are tying the Buffalo Sabres with most consecutive non-playoff appearances at
Thank
14.
God.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
God.
true. Yeah, they're beating them right now until the Sabres don't make it
Right.
this year.
They can hang on to about 3 more months.
It's like an alternating
I know.
thing. Do you think that if the Sabres would have got McDavid, he would be as good as he is?
No.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. He's a transcending player. The whole franchise is a different franchise.
I think McDavid would already be gone.
I think that's a guy you build around.
I think something similar to what happened with Jack Eichel. Not obviously the same, but something similar would have happened.
I think something similar than what happened with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen just rescued.
Yes.
The Bills would be a disaster if we didn't get Josh Allen.
Correct.
Imagine
The
what
Bills
this
would be such a
Imagine
mess.
what this would be like if we got Josh Rosen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
Who I actually wanted.
Yeah, me too.
Like before,
I will admit,
before
I
draft
wanted
day,
Josh Rosen.
I was
wanted
calling for Josh
Lamar,
Rosen.
and then when they said Josh, I'm like, please be Rosen.
Yeah,
In that instant that I had to think about it, like, I was like,
yeah.
I couldn't be more happy that.
Right.
To
Me,
be
me
a
too. I mean, I
fucking moron.
have been more happy to be wrong.
Yeah.
The only reason I asked that question about McDavid and the Eichel decision is the Oilers actually they hadn't been good. How many first round draft picks have they gotten the number one pick?
4.
They have 4. And they've still sucked until
Yeah.
like last year or the year before that.
They had years.
But
of getting
McDavid
the
by himself
first
is
and
an anomaly.
first.
There's the answer to all those people that are scared about Josh Allen not winning a Super Bowl. It's like, well, there's a debate about who is the greatest quarterback in this league, and Josh Allen certainly is up there. There's no doubt McDavid is by far and away the best hockey player professionally right now.
Right, that's why they say the All-Star Games is the McDavid Invitation.
Right, it is. It just he is. I mean, I haven't seen him a lot because he plays out in the West, but his stats tell you everything you need to know, and he hasn't won a cup. So there's still hope for Buffalo fans. Is what I'm getting to. We don't want to. Josh Allen hasn't won and this and the other thing. But neither has the greatest hockey player in our probably our lifetime, our generation, either. And it tells you you got it. You got to just get it right. You got to get lucky.
So are you saying the Sabres are one generational player away from being good?
I'm telling you that in this alternate world, had the ping pong balls landed for McDavid, this would be a whole different franchise. Like that. Jack Eichel's a really talented player.
I remember
really
that.
skilled.
Who was
I
the
remember
GM
that.
at the time?
And
though?
it was the guy from Anaheim.
Bottrell?
No, it was the guy from Anaheim. Murray. It was Murray.
Tim Murray.
Tim
Yes.
Murray, yeah.
And the stones he had, and he said he walked up to the right owner and he said,
Yep.
"This guy's a transformative player. I'm going to do everything we can to get him, and I'm going to tank, and I'm going to trade my goaltender in the middle of the third period, and I'm going to lose, and you know what? Just the ping pong ball just didn't go the right way.
I remember that year. The
But
tank was on, baby.
But you know what? In my position, if I was a Sabres fan, I would want him to do the same thing all over again.
Which, how fucked up is that? Do you think that lottery system is just
rigged?
It's wrong. It's just wrong.
I think Bettman picks where he wants the guys to go.
It denies you the ability to tank for real. Like
Yeah.
in the NFL, you finish last, you get the first overall pick. That's not the same way. In the
Why
NBA.
does
think
hockey
that's
do that?
They don't
they
want
do
you
it
to tank.
and they do it in the NBA as well.
Correct.
It's just because of the number of games and the money that's involved.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's because they don't want nobody signing up to watch a team purposely lose. That's what everyone in 2014 were doing. Rightfully so. And they should have been doing that. The fact that the Sabres were so open in doing that was remarkable. But, I mean, who wants to admit to their fan base that's paying good money that, oh, hey, come on, buy a beer, come to a game to watch us lose? It's terrible.
But the fans were on board, too.
They were absolutely on board. But, I mean, it's a bad look for the Shield, and that's what the NHL has always been since Gary Bettman, 1993, is protect the Shield.
Yeah, that just hurt. I remember I was we pulled over for the announcement of the lottery. We were in the Andersons parking lot. I remember that to listen to it. And I remember getting screwed over, and we got Eichel, and everybody was just besides themselves.
And he was that good that I believe they were putting like I think he was playing for the Erie Otters.
Yes.
David was.
Yep.
They were putting his games, I think, on ESPN before they even had the rights to the NHL. It was like a LeBron James moment. Like he was that. I had heard of McDavid.
People were going down there to watch him.
I had heard of McDavid when he was 15 years old, driving somewhere, and they had Adidas, who owned their jersey rights, backed up a dump truck at 15 years old, a load of money into his driveway and said, sign with us. And I was like, this guy I've never heard of that before. And he's full value for what he is. The Bruins put everything on him. And they were up 2-1 with I don't know, a minute left, and fucking McDavid scored a goal, and they lost in overtime.
Yeah,
he's one of those players like Josh Allen, but there's so much more competition in the NFL for a quarterback that you only got 5 players playing, at a time.
Yeah, he just pushes through guys like
he's so
nothing.
fast.
Yeah.
He is so fast. So, well, gentlemen, I gotta run. I gotta see about a girl.
All right, well, go watch your TV show.
I
Forget
shall
about us. And,
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Hopefully the Sabres will be able to pull out another win.
We hope so.
It's just killing their draft positioning.
We'll catch up to the Bruins sooner or later.
I'll-
Second half push.
I will be there in person on the 28th.
Oh, the one a year.
You might see me on TV. We're right behind the.
There's only going to be 75 other players or fans in the arena.
I'm trying. I'm trying to
Those
convince my
tickets
wife.
still haven't gotten to the point where they're ridiculously cheap on the.
My
aftermarket.
buddy, who is a veteran, pays like $5 a game he goes
Yeah.
to. I'm like, yo, give me some of those.
Oh, really?
Right.
Because I was just
Yeah.
talking to my brother-in-law. He's going tomorrow. He got him aftermarket, 300 level. He still had to pay almost $100 a ticket.
Yep.
There's something that he goes through for being a veteran where they get discounted tickets.
Okay. Because eventually it's going to get to the point, if they're bad enough, you'll be able to go for like $20, $10 a
It
ticket.
didn't.
Yeah.
We went a couple years ago. The whole Viola family went to a.
Well,
Bruins
do you
Sabres game.
pre-order them or are you going to buy them the day of?
I should have bought on the day of. But StubHub. It was still a $500 day just for tickets
to watch those
300s.
losers.
Because you got to buy the ticket. Then you
Well,
got
they
the
weren't
add-on
there to watch the
fees.
losers. They were there to watch.
Oh, and it was great. Bruins 1-7-1. It was fantastic. Fantastic, gentlemen. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Go
All right,
Bills.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Go
good one,
Bills.
Too. All right, what mic is he on? Cut him off. Oh, well. Herb, you all right?
I'm back. I'm back.
All right, cool.
Or it was just over here crushing vodka waters.
He's going to have to freaking...
Yeah, we're on the vodka waters tonight.
You said you weren't even going to have that much.
I didn't think I would.
She's going to be pissed at you.
Well, you know what's good
Yeah.
with the vodka water? You're hydrating at the same time.
It's healthy. It's a healthy drink, I'd say.
I'll never forget I did grape vodka and water for a quad party one year at Canisius.
Nice.
And I was done by, I think, 11 o'clock in the morning. I think I was passed out in somebody's dorm room.
What time did you start? 9?
About 8.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got to.
I think we had practice in the morning and then just started after that.
Hit the sauce?
Started drinking in the library, kind of moved around to a couple dorm rooms, and then just out. Yeah.
I've been to a few of those quad parties at Canisius.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good
Circa
time,
2003.
Yeah.
You still going to those, Herb?
Well,
I don't even know if they're allowed to have those anymore.
I went to a Canisius house party on my 30th birthday
Oh.
with my buddy. I said, we could still pull it off. We couldn't. Yeah, we went to some house party, and these dudes were like, "Dude, what are you guys doing here? Like, why don't you just go to the bar?" That's what they said to us.
How'd you get caught so fast?
I don't know. What we did is we brown bagged it all the way there. We were walking around with brown bags,
Just looking for a random
and I
house party?
said that's kind of what I wanted to do. I want to get some booze in me. I want to just we'll figure it out. We ended up at Canisius house party. We got, I'd
You go
say
on
informally kicked out. Yeah. I lived on Hughes for a year.
Oh, really?
A
Well, 'cause
couple
you're friends
years.
with Bird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know Bird. Yeah.
I swam with him at Canisius.
Yeah.
Bird's the word.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a mutual friend named Bird.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Canisius is a good time.
Yeah.
I never partied there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one year Byron Brown cracked down on it, and he got some bad pub because he had like SWAT teams and stuff out on the streets trying to crack down on quad party because one of his kids had, I don't know if they had driven drunk or if he had just gone like a joyride. I think he wasn't 16 yet. I think that's what it
remember
was.
this. I
And he
remember
hit all
this.
these cars on the
Yes,
street.
I remember
and
that.
Canisius released a video. And so he was like, well, I'm going to crack down on this party. and they had all these SWAT guys there. It was in the news. They spent like $35,000 on overtime for these cops to be there, and they just were like, "Yeah, just stay out of the street, whatever." So it was great. People were taking pictures with the cops and stuff, and it was amazing.
He lived on our block, I think.
I think he was a street over, I think. But, he doesn't really live there. Like, I think his mother lives there or something. But he doesn't live in this city. Yeah. It's all bullshit. So that he can be the mayor. Or could be the mayor. He's not the mayor anymore. But now he's catching heat. Yeah. They're all over him now about his misappropriation of funds and stuff. And all this ARP money or whatever they call it. And,
You can't misappropriate funds.
Yep.
No. Cannot.
You got to appropriate them.
Yes.
Appropriately.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well said, Herb. What else you got, Herb?
Well, yeah. No, I don't think Lamar should be MVP. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
To circle back.
Yeah. His biggest win is against us.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That was early in the year. All right. Fine. They beat us.
Was a big win.
Week 4. Blake, we beat the number 1 seed in the AFC and the number 1 seed in the NFC, and we're going to finish ahead of the Ravens. So, right there. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
Josh is probably rested 4 or 5 quarters plus in games that we just blew teams out. So there's another thing that's not like, if you go into the stat argument, like, okay, Lamar has more touchdowns and more total yards, I think, and whatever else.
You think Josh has rested that much this year?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, we got the...
I think he's gotten the snot kicked out of him.
We got the Dolphins game.
There was a few games where he sat out most of the fourth quarter.
Oh, that?
Yeah.
I don't think.
I always feel like he should have, but he didn't really do it that much.
Like Seattle, I think he went out pretty early.
Let me see here. Oh, yeah, Seattle's a good one. Jaguars, Dolphins, Seattle.
What kind of spreadsheet you got over there?
I'm just checking our schedule. Let's see here.
Jesus.
Just bring him back to
All right,
knowledge.
what do we got?
This guy's a Rain Man here.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Rain Man.
Dolphins, Jaguars. He didn't play in the fourth quarter of the Ravens game. We got the Titans, Seahawks.
Really
There's
been playing these games?
the Niners.
I don't know.
That's like 6 games.
Oh, the
That's
Niners
6
too,
quarters.
yeah.
6
Yeah.
quarters right there, at least, where Josh was just resting the whole fourth quarter.
Okay, I guess I should ask this question while Sean was
I don't
here.
know. I just don't remember Trubisky being in all that much.
Neither do I.
Well, yeah, because we turned
He's
the game
very
off
forgettable.
by then.
Yeah. I guess so.
How early does Josh come out of this game?
The Jets game, I mean, I think,
I hope early third quarter.
I hope if we're
Yeah.
up by 2 scores, they pull him.
yeah, that's the
But I don't know if they... I
They need
hope
to
so
win,
too.
right?
Yeah, we
That is
do
true.
need to win for the second
is
true.
for the second seed.
This is kind of.
So I'm
a
hoping
big-
they
this
pull
is
him
a
early
big game.
third, but I don't
So
know.
how important do you think the second seed is?
I think it's important because I think it's 85% chance we're playing the Ravens
If you're the 3rd seed?
in the divisional round. We're gonna whoop whoever we play. The Ravens are gonna whoop whoever they play. Like that's.
Does it matter if we're
I
2
don't.
or 3?
I
We're
don't
still gonna
want
be the
to.
same
I don't
as-
want us going into Baltimore.
Right.
I don't like that at all. I think that's a significant difference. Us at home versus Baltimore, or us going into Baltimore. That's big.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like Al Davis, just win, baby. That's it.
Yeah, let's.
Well,
I'd say
it's-
get it done, and then you got nothing to play for. Like then you got to also, like, if you lose this one, you're thinking about, are you playing guys? Are you not playing guys? Are you like? It's a whole big thing and a distraction. It's like, just win. Just get this.
I feel like on Sunday against the Jets, just beat their ass at the beginning of the game. They're already, what's the record? 4-12, something like that. Yeah. So just beat them real bad at the very beginning. They'll pack up and go home, and then you can start resting people. And I think that's the main thing. You want to rest everybody the last week of the season so you can get your bye untechnically.
Yeah.
That's not even the right word, but you know, you get your own little bye. And then, when it comes to the playoffs, like whether you play the Broncos or the Ravens or eventually the Chiefs, you just got to win.
I kind of like the setup as, playing divisional games late in the season, just because, like, if there is a race, they really do mean something. But don't like if there isn't a race.
Yeah.
That they're just like, hey, we're trying to play spoiler. Like, we
Yeah.
want to fucking keep you out of what you
Well,
want
like
to do.
the Patriots last week.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if we had Kansas City the last week of the year instead of the Jets and the Patriots, like that.
You both be pretty much locked in.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of.
Yeah, and I mean, like, yes, we played the Lions a couple weeks ago, but that's NFC, so that doesn't until you go to the Super Bowl, it doesn't really matter that much.
Right.
So, I think we just gotta not beat ourselves.
Yeah.
I think if we go in there and we do not beat ourselves, then we'll win. I think we're better than most other teams.
I mean, honestly, if you go in there and you've played how you've played all year long, just kind of intermediate pass offense, running James Cook, defense, do what you can, same old, bend but don't break, get your takeaways here and there. Something's going to come. I mean, Rodgers is a shell of who he used to be.
Yep.
And he's all in his head too. Like, they should easily come out with this win. Just you got to do what you got to do and make it happen.
Yeah,
it's an easy sell for your players. Like, it's a team you hate. They were fucking getting real chippy in that game when we played them on that. I think it was a Monday night game.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've been chippy for a couple of years now because Deion Dawkins, I know, doesn't like a few of the players.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's a big thing usually a lot of times.
Yeah, and you got a big motivator. Like, you could have like Buffalo Joe and a bunch of like these dudes that hardly got any opportunities to just play Week 18. Like that, those guys could be playing the whole game Week 18. Like,
make that their Super Bowl. Yeah,
that's a big opportunity for them.
He what?
What's that?
He played last week, Buffalo Joe. He got in.
Yeah, he got in a little bit, right?
Yeah. I remember they said it on the broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, let those type of guys like let those type of guys get a real like chance to like put themselves out on film and like I mean that's a big motivator for them. Like the starters should get a rest like before the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The one nice thing from a fan point of view is that they're 1:00 games. I feel like the last game of the year, I doubt we're going to get flexed at all. So I would assume that'll be a 1:00 game.
Unless we lose this week and it actually like matters, potentially, but I can't see it getting flexed.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even if we lose and even if it does matter, I think that there's bigger things on other teams.
Games.
No, hopefully we don't get flexed. Hopefully we just fucking take care of business this week and our regular season's over. It'll be simple as that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kyle, any thoughts?
I like everything you're saying over there.
That's right.
Bills got to take care of business, and there's a few games where I didn't think they took care of business, and if they don't take care of business here, I know Sean's like, oh no, it's 2 seasons, and I kind of disagree. Like you should be playing really good football going into the playoffs.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing. I mean, I don't know if the difference between the 2 and the 3 is that big. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But you don't want to look like shit going into the playoffs. That's for sure.
Well, plus it gets the whole rust against rest thing too, because like if you look at the Chiefs, like they've already locked up the number 1, so they're not going to play anybody the last week of the year, and so then they're going to have an actual full on bye the first week of the playoffs. So that'll be 2 full weeks where Patrick Mahomes isn't throwing to Kelsey and stuff like that. So
they're almost getting a bye week right now.
Yeah.
Played yesterday and they don't play to the following Sunday?
Yeah. So,
they were bitching about this stretch, like, oh, we have to play like 3 games in like 12 days or whatever it was, and which that does suck, but you won all the games.
Yeah.
So now you're fine. Now you get a stretch and you don't even have to play. So
how fucking annoying is it? No one could beat the Chiefs except us?
Yeah.
It's like the Chiefs could have just gone undefeated if the Bills didn't beat them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
They would have just been fighting for an undefeated season.
Well,
like,
you'll get
they'll
get a loss against the Broncos.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
at that point,
I mean, if the Bills didn't beat them, maybe they'd be playing for an undefeated season against the Broncos.
So that's a question. If they were playing for an undefeated season at that point, do they play everybody?
Yes.
You think so?
Undefeated season?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, then we just have to beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Down
wouldn't
like
you?
the Patriots.
I mean, you would think so. I mean, especially Kansas City
There's a
because
lot of pride.
they've
going
already
into
won
a
3 Super Bowls in the last few years, 4 years, I think, right?
That's
but-
true,
so-
but like
winning
the
never gets
playoffs
old.
matter so much
Yeah.
more. Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine if they're playing for that undefeated season and Mahomes goes down in like that last game?
Oh, that'd
and
be
they're
awesome.
just playing with I don't even know who their backup is, but
Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have worse quarterbacks with playoff experience.
Well, let me ask you
but
this: would you rather have Carson Wentz as your backup or Trubisky?
Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. They.
I think you could probably ask that question probably 27 or 8 times, and it's usually going to be the other guy. There's probably not many. There's a few that you're
Yeah.
like, I've never even heard of that person. But I think for the most part, I mean, Trubisky, I think Trubisky's been around long enough. He's been around I think he's 8 years. I think he's a year older than Josh. So he's been around long enough and played long enough
He was
where
the year- he was the
we know
Mahomes
that
year.
he's kind of garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So, I mean, if Josh goes down Sunday, we're done. That's it.
Yeah. He's worse than garbage. I'll take garbage. I'll take garbage 6 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
And Sunday's not garbage day, so I'll still take garbage. I don't know. I
What's
you
that
just
quote
like
about
him?
Karl Malone? He was playing in that one playoff game or whatever, and someone said the mailman don't deliver on Sunday or something like that, and he had a terrible game.
Oh, yeah.
it's like Chick-fil-A ain't open on Sunday. I mean, Trubisky's not good.
Yeah.
No. We didn't
Like,
even
I was just
think
thinking in
about
my
it.
head,
He
like,
doesn't
He's
exist
just a
in my
game
brain.
manager. I mean, that's
How
what
many
you-
points do you need to
have
be up
for a
on the
backup
Jets
quarterback.
to feel safe maintaining the
Well,
lead?
that's the thing.
With,
That's why it's
with
like
Trubisky
scores?
coming in.
3-score game.
You got to be up 21
Plus
points.
our shitty defense. So it's
That's
not
the
like
problem,
it's not like
too.
we have the 85 Bears out there, and so with our defense being what they are, I mean, I don't feel comfortable with two scores in the third, maybe halfway through the fourth, but
Yeah.
Well, the
not
problem
halfway through
too,
the third.
like this defense is bad, but then they get takeaways, and you're like, well, they suck, but also they kind of capitalize on bad offenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like they make it happen, but
Well, it's like the
I
goal
don't
line
know.
stand thing.
Yeah.
How they kind of made that happen with the penalties and all that, and then made it happen again.
Yeah.
But it was 9 times in a row that
yeah, I
they
mean,
held them
how
out.
many defenses are going to stop teams
Yeah.
that many times? Like, I don't
Josh is like, at least for Sunday, like Josh is probably, you need him probably for 3 quarters, probably at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah, you'd hope.
And ideally you can rest him most of the fourth quarter, but like he's going to need one more game where you just finish the deal, get that 2 seed locked up, and
Yep.
then you're just in playoff mode.
Just beat the Jets.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
gotta win this one. This is a big one. I really do think this is a big game. It's tough to sell that to the players though. I could see the players overlooking this game, and also the Jets being like, "Oh, we're gonna do something." Like the Jets like overplaying how important this game is in their heads.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean any like it. The Bills do kind of need this to finish the deal on their good regular season. Really good regular season.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
Especially as far
because
as
you were saying
divisional
that they want to
record
be
as well,
yeah.
they want to be playing well. Last week they didn't play well. I
Right.
don't care how you cut it.
You gotta
No.
finish
And so
on a high
you
note.
want to have them do something well, and because the hope is that they don't play at all the last week of the season. So you gotta hope for like we were saying like 35-17 game or whatever it is. You would hope for that kind of game to kind of get them rolling a little bit, and then get them healthy and see who knows what happens.
Yeah.
I would have felt very well if the Bills beat the Patriots 35-17.
That'd been great.
Well, that's what we said last week. You know, if they struggle against the Patriots, then you got some concern, and here it is.
Yeah,
So
Do you think Mike is yelling at us saying, why are we overreacting?
maybe.
no,
he is.
I mean Sean, you know, kind of is in that same camp, and
Although Mike did say
I'm
say
the
something
same
about
way.
if we didn't play well against the Patriots, then he'd worry a little bit. So maybe he's there with us.
well, if he was here, he could tell us.
I'll back up the not worried guys. I'm not worried right now.
He's probably cursing.
I'm not worried. It is what it is. We said it a million times. Like this is a game where it's tough to get up for this one. You got 4 starters missing. You're having a tough time getting up for this one, and you're playing a team that's 3-11 coming into it. Mm-hmm. I can understand why you'd have a little bit of a letdown, but also at the same time, we had a letdown and we still won the game. So it was just not a great performance, but we still did what we needed to do to win, which is show up. So I wouldn't say I'm overly concerned. I do think it's a different mentality when you get to the playoffs. This is different than like playing the Patriots in Week 16 in a almost meaningless game.
Yeah. But can these guys flip a switch? Okay,
no, you need them to do that.
You want to be ramping up, and we kind of were on a good trajectory too, like where they were just scoring over 30 points, and the defense wasn't that great, but the offense was just unstoppable. Yeah. So just look that way this week. Get Josh out of there, look unstoppable, and get him out of there, and be like, this team's going to be a contender.
It was definitely a step down, and that's at least in a way, it's at least in the back of your head, oh, what was that? It was definitely a step down in what they've done the whole season. It was just a shitty performance. It was one of our worst games of the year.
Yeah, uncharacteristic.
Yeah. So I don't want to overreact to this one either, though. I could see why they'd be let down. I expected them to beat the shit out of the Patriots. So,
that's why they play on Sundays.
Yeah, it's
any given Sunday, right?
It's not the end of the world, but it's a little annoying. It definitely sticks in your craw.
I guess it's just do you honestly believe that they held back from the playbook? That was whatever. I don't buy that, but I mean,
I think it's a coach speak.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
I mean, you've played 16 games, and you're going to pull out we were saving our plays for the playoffs? Yeah. What have you been doing every other week? I don't know. Yeah. I just think it's cliche or whatever they say for a bad performance.
I could see the players at the very least playing as if they don't want to get hurt.
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Guys just being okay, we have 2 games left or 3 games left, and we got to get through these games.
So we're just going to do this Olay bullshit.
We're going to get the 2 seed, and let's get ready for the playoffs. I can see football players being all right, we need to not get the goal is not get hurt right now. That could fuck you up. You fuck your performance up for a non-playoff game. Whereas the Patriots are okay, we got a young rookie quarterback, and we got to play well, and I want to be on this team next year, and we're building something. That's a different type of mentality.
Is anyone else still a little salty about the change in the playoff format where the number 2 doesn't get the bye?
Oh.
And it was the first year that we got it, that we didn't get it. And then now we're still a number 2, and we're still in the same boat.
That perfectly coincided with us being the 2 seed. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So every year.
We're finally good, and now we don't get a bye.
That's so annoying. Every year we're the 2 seed, and it's, here you go with a non-bye. Yeah. It couldn't have worked out more perfectly for us.
Yeah.
In a bad way.
Yeah. In Kansas City in a good way.
Yeah.
They're the
fucking
new
Kansas
Patriots
City.
getting that free ride.
How
many years did the Patriots get that free ride through the playoffs where they almost got 2? They got the bye week, and then they played a shitty team.
Yeah.
They got to coast through the bad division all year.
Every year, the Patriots would just get the 2 seed and play some shitty team. Exactly. And it'd be the Patriots and the Colts, and Peyton and Brady would get shitty opponents and just like, oh yeah, Peyton and Brady are going to be in the AFC Championship every year. But no, we had to play another team and get guys injured, and because of course guys are going to get injured in a playoff game.
At least it's good to see that now the conference has a plethora of good quarterbacks.
They do.
It's not just those two. You know, you got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Burrow, you got Lamar.
Yeah.
Stroud a little bit.
I wish you could say those guys that have a little more playoff acumen to them, and even, you know, what's his name in Jacksonville, who hasn't really...
Oh, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, he's still a good quarterback. He kind of has been handcuffed by his team. His team sucks every year.
Yeah.
But him too, I mean, at what point do you say, like, all right, well, you're just not as good as we thought you were?
Right.
I mean, he just signed a
and
huge
you wonder
deal.
if it's him or the team. Like, but also look at Josh. Okay, so these guys make the team around them better. He's not making the team better.
Yeah.
And they gave him a lot of money too.
A ton, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think he signed 55 before the year, so the money for quarterbacks is just, it's crazy. Because now it's Dak, I think Dak signed for 60, right?
Wasn't he the highest paid quarterback?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Which he isn't a bad quarterback. I mean, the Cowboys are just such an odd team.
Yeah.
Why can't they pull it together? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we always talk about the
I
Steelers
love to see
ownership.
it, but why can't they pull it together?
Yeah. I think it's probably the owner a little bit. I think that, you know, certain choices get made and stuff like that. Even like letting Dak and then CeeDee Lamb, letting them go to the final year of their contract where they're free agents now, or they were going to be before they signed. You know, doing something like that is not cost effective. Mm-hmm. So they signed Dak for $60 million and CeeDee Lamb, whatever it was up above. You know, it was like up the second highest wide receiver, which is a lot of money. So, you know, now you can't spend money other places, and you have aging stars. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is a great player. I think Dak's a good quarterback. I don't know if he's $60 million worth, but he's a good quarterback. But I think they're both kind of aging a little bit. Mm. So now for the next 4 or 5 years or whatever it is, you're going to be paying him $60 million a year. You know, just choices, you know.
Yeah. And Lamb, I just saw, went down. He's out for at least the last game, and then who knows how much else. And every injury these guys get, you know, kind of as a
Well, then you don't come back. The older you get, just like with everything in life, like us. Yeah. Like you don't come back. It's things don't work the right way, the same way. You know. So
I was playing knee hockey last night. You know, with a couple of drinks in me with my kids.
Probably a little sore.
Knee hockey's grueling. Yeah, it's a tough sport.
My back this morning, I was screaming.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Knee hockey's a tough sport.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
A lot of fun though.
I'll say the NFC, I think, is wide open still. Like the NFC is completely. Mm-hmm. I could see Detroit winning it. I could see Philly winning it. Mm-hmm. I could see Minnesota winning it. I could see the Packers winning it. I could see the Rams winning it.
Whoa!
I could see the Bucks winning it. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
I agree with your 4, not Tampa or
not Tampa
or Rams.
The Rams. I think I've said this for a while when we talked about when the
Rams
do play
good.
the Rams. I think the Rams are good, and I think until they play Philly or whoever, I think that they're really pretty good for the most part. I think that Detroit was everybody's favorite all year, but now they have
Their
many
injuries.
It's just I think there's like...
They signed Teddy Bridgewater. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, out of retirement. He coached his high school football team to a championship, I think.
Yes.
And so, I mean, that's great, but, I mean, quarterback-wise, it's... I mean, you hope that the guy never plays, but...
AFC,
there's a reason they did it.
Yeah.
AFC, I would literally shit my pants if it was not the Bills, Chiefs, or Ravens.
Yeah.
I'll shit my pants right now if you told me.
I don't see Pittsburgh going anywhere.
None of those teams are going anywhere.
What?
I quote it. If it's not one of those teams.
Yeah.
On the air, Herb's going to shit his pants.
No, what was that commercial I was talking to you about before we aired? That Depends commercial? Oh, yeah. There was these women going out on the town, and there was like these middle-aged women, and
because they're gonna get their drink on and their mighty taco on.
Yeah, the one pulls up a pair of Depends, and she's like, "Let's go out for a night on the town."
Sexy,
and she was really feeling sexy, and it was like they were all dancing, and then they had a limo It was like the women that the one pulled up the Depends, and the rest of them like were all in on a limo, and the Depends woman was too, and nobody noticed because she like wrapped her Depends in like she like wore a dress around the Depends.
She wore like Spanx over her
Kind of hot,
Depends.
but like they were all. She was wearing the Depends, and like nobody noticed, but they were all like dancing. They went to like a hot club, and they were all dancing. And the one was,
it's on.
No, it's on right now. It's literally on right now. And the one was wearing Depends, and they all went out and they like went to Chippewa, and they were like wearing Depends.
Now, 3 out of 4 of us are married, Herb, so this question obviously is directed towards you. If you hooked up with a chick and you just go down south and she's wearing Depends, do things just stop right there?
I don't think I would notice. Like, what do what's the, like, what do you got, unstrap something? Like,
No, they're just extra thick
It's just
underwear.
a very large diaper.
Okay,
type
a
of
large
underwear.
diaper, like I might.
I mean, maybe they're better technology than that now. Maybe they just look. Like
I think they're trying to
panties.
sell them as sexy.
Yeah.
So like
They got some like bikini cut Depends.
I think
now.
business decisions need to be made there.
Yeah, like
yeah.
ideally the lights are turned off. Like that kind of happens below the covers. Like I might not notice. Like it might not be noticeable.
If she's slick enough, I think she kind of scoots in into the bathroom and changes
Yeah.
it before things get a little
Hot.
and heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's so hot and heavy that you just tear those easily.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
You have to tear the sides off.
Yeah.
Also, like if you're shitting into your Depends.
I think it's so you can go on the town and just go to the bathroom without.
It's like
You
a
drink
going
as
to the
much as you
bathroom.
want. Just
Yeah.
keep on going.
Yeah.
If you're shitting in your Depends and they're just, how long is that sitting there?
There's
And
no
then you're just-
not noticing that you're shitting in your pants. though. These have to be for like I don't know, like
Wine trips.
pissing.
Hey, why
or
is
something
Becky's
like,
face all red?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what's the length at which that's just sitting there? Like you're like someone's gonna notice.
You can't hide that stank.
No, you
like it's
cannot.
got to be for
That's
like inadvertent like peeing or something.
Sure.
That's traveling up like to the other parts of your
Yeah.
body. Like that's
We need some female input.
yeah. I think that's a good
Next time.
reason to get the
Next
first
time.
female guest on the podcast.
We've had one.
Oh, we
haven't
never
had
asked
any
some
back.
questions like that.
Oh, she would not. Yeah. All right, off topic, and then we'll have to cut this shorter. What do you guys think of the college playoffs so far?
I haven't watched a second.
I mean, Notre Dame won, so I was
A
happy.
lot of blowouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, a lot of these teams fucking stink, and then they do what did they do? The automatic bid, like, if you win your shitty conference, like, I don't know, some of these garbage teams got in, and, like, SMU got in or whatever. I don't remember what the team was called. But some of these teams just stink.
So does that just tell you that like the expansion of the college playoff was just bullshit and like
Yeah,
they
like,
never should have done it?
You need, like, I think, like, maybe 8 teams, like, the top 8 teams by rankings, like, would be a better fit. Like,
I don't know.
12
Ohio
teams.
State was given a 9, and they
So what are
blew
they
out
doing now?
or 8.
What are they doing? Is 12?
Right now it's 12, and
Yeah.
4 of them get a bye.
Yeah,
And,
top 4 get a bye.
It's all about money. College football is all about money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
Especially
what it is.
now. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not sold that a lot of these teams deserve any right to be in there, and it's just like, oh, well, this game's going to be a blowout, so why are we even playing it?
Kind of just gives you like some provenance to say you were in the college playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So
It's not necessarily the top 12 teams. It's like, oh, this
Right, a
team won
couple,
the Mountain West
at-large
Conference.
bids.
Like, who gives a shit? And they stink.
Yeah.
I think they voted on who was going in and what rank they got.
Yeah, I
Some
think so.
there's some automatic bids, like when with the NCAA
With the
basketball tournament.
yeah.
Like, there's some automatic bids, which I kind of like that they do that, but also, like, some of these
Well, it's
teams
64 teams, though.
just
I
come
mean,
in and get smoked.
Yep.
Yeah, you know, if like Canisius or Niagara is getting in on the
Yeah.
tournament, they're not going far.
Yeah, like
Thanks for winning the MAC.
I like it to a degree. Like, I like they should do a playoff. They should do a playoff. Like, I agree with that. Like, you shouldn't just have the top 2 teams as voted on by a bunch of
Right.
dorks.
2 is a bit short.
Yeah.
12 is a bit much.
Yeah.
Maybe try 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
8 seems.
Yeah, I like the playoff
Eight seems right.
overall. I hated the thing where, like, you were kind of guessing at the top 2, and because there's always a loser somewhere there.
Yeah.
That should, you kind of go with strength of schedule, but I think some kind of a playoff is good.
Yeah. If you did 8, you could do everybody plays.
Yeah.
You get 8 down to 4, down to 2.
It's not right to have an undefeated team not get in.
Sure.
And that seemed like it happened almost, maybe not almost every year, but like every other year, there'd be like I don't know, South Florida or something like would get in, Central Florida, and they'd be 12-0, and it's like, well, why didn't they get a chance? Maybe they're the best team.
Maybe.
So, but at the same time, it's like, no, clearly not. They're the best team. Like they played a bunch of dog shit teams, and they just got in because the other teams they faced are shit, and they didn't play in the SEC.
Right.
So
I
don't know what the best solution is.
Yeah, I love how they just tried to hype up the Arkansas State Bowling Green game that's going on right now.
Yeah. All right. Well,
some of these bowl game names are wild.
Hey, whoever's got the
Rape
cash.
Bowl.
I saw a Snoop Dogg Bowl.
Snoop Dogg Bowl.
Really?
That's actually a great name, actually.
It was a Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl or something. And I saw one.
Snoop Dogg hit that bowl.
What's that? What's that green sauce that a lot of people eat on sushi?
Wasabi.
Yeah, there was like a wasabi Boston Bowl.
What?
Yeah.
You making this up?
No, I've been watching the Bottom Line since we started. There's a Pop-Tarts Bowl. Everybody knows that one now since they hold the Pop-Tart thing went viral. Oh, there it is. Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl.
Wow.
He better have been there.
Saturday at 4:30.
Be there.
He'll have to be the
Miami of Ohio versus Colorado State. Like,
he'll be
none of these games
the
like
coin
Fucking
flip.
heavy hitters in that game.
He's going to do the coin flip at the beginning.
Oh, that would be sweet. Yeah.
That guy is everywhere.
I'm sure he'll be there.
Yes.
There was a wasabi type of bowl.
I believe you.
All right, folks, we're rambling. Thanks for listening. You got pizza, football,
Bowling, military bowl.
and some After Dark all mixed into one. That's your Christmas present.
Fuck yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Go Bills. We'll see you in a couple days.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
ZaBillsPodcast is a presentation of Kmart Productions, sponsored by MJB Electric and Dudzik Chiropractic. Thank you for listening, and if you haven't, please follow, rate, review the show. It helps with the algorithm. ZaBills is executively produced by me, Kyle. Executive sound engineering by yours truly, also me. Fundraising, also by Kyle. All artwork executively produced by Avery and Mark Rochon. What the heck is this? All music and lighting executively produced by Kyle. That's more like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely. Good night. Yeah, baby.